right. Yeah, it's going through. We should be live on YouTube, although I have not seen it as yet. All right, so yes, we are there, getting started. All right, we're a little late. What time did we start? So when we check the time, because I might have to split this up into 2 weeks, 2 parts. Rather, time is 10:35. Okay, so let me get this on to Just the Word TV and publish it. And we are on our way. All right, welcome everyone to another live teaching on Just the Word battery on a laptop. I'm kidding. Right, yeah, I got it. Yeah, technical difficulties there, as we said. Yes, welcome once again. This is Kazak Aliyahu Yasharal, along with my co-host, Mahar Kuhn Yasharal, as we kickstart this week's teaching a little late, but technical difficulties there are, but better late than never, as they say. Well, today we're going to be looking at wickedness. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, what this means for us today. And the importance of this is that the whole world is being deceived by the serpent. The whole world is being deceived by the wicked. And we keep saying, if the people of this world only understood this one verse is critical. Critical. Thanks, sis. Remember to record. Thank you very much. All right. If the world just understands this one verse, then people would not be deceived. People just cannot accept, just cannot understand that the world is led by wickedness. And we're going to go a little bit deeper and show that we ourselves are led by wickedness. We are wicked. Every one of us born wicked. Every one of us live in wickedness, some shape or point in time. We live in wickedness and we are inherently wicked. And even if we say we are believers, wickedness is lurking right at our door. And it's only one mistake and wickedness steps in. All right, so we're going to look how the world is given into the hand of the wicked, how the world ensures that we are wicked, so we are separated from the Most High. And then we are going to look at the remedy, how to ensure that in the end, we do not end up as we came. We do not end up in wickedness as we came into this world. All right? So let's first deal with the earth, the world, and how these people have set up their wickedness. All right? So the first thing we'll do, of course, look at the meaning of wicked. And it's from the Hebrew Rasha, which comes from age 7561, which means morally wrong. Concretely and actively bad person. Condemned, guilty, ungodly, wicked man that did wrong. All right, so this more or less should be more or less what we conceive wickedness to be. But the most important one here is an actively bad person. That means doing doing an act that is wrong, that is sinful, does not make you wicked. It is actively doing that which is wrong. It would be equivalent to a worker of iniquity. You just keep repeating sin over and over again. All right. So, wickedness proceeds from the wicked. The world has to understand this. If the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and 1 Samuel 24:13 reads, can you see it?
I say the proverb of the ancients, wickedness proceeded from the wicked, but mine hand shall not be upon
thee.
All
right, wickedness proceeded from the wicked. Now, if the earth, Brother Mahar, if the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and wickedness proceeds from the wicked, anything that the earth, the people of this earth is giving us is what?
Wickedness.
Oh, so the people of this earth are giving us an injection. Yes, they hide the ingredients. They say they cannot be sued for it. People are dying from it. I won't go any further because of these people's algorithms. And it's coming from the leaders of the world. What is it?
Wickedness.
Oh, this is what people don't understand in this world. So the Christians running to take this, say they want to go back to normal, if they understood that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked and that wickedness proceeded from the wicked, and they would not be sitting there and be taking the mark of the beast. Okay? Well, let's go a little deeper into the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges. Let's go to Job 9:24 before we kick here. He covers the faces of the judges. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Job 9:24. Read it, bro.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, we established that. But he covered the faces of the judges. That's what we're going to be looking at now. He covers the faces of the judges. So the wicked covers the faces of the judges. Let's see what that means for us, using precept upon precept. And so we go to Mark 4:13-15. Mark 4:13-15. If the people of this world just understand the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, if they just understand that. So many people believe in their politicians and their leaders, and if they had known, just understood and accepted the earth given into the hand of the wicked, a lot of people would be more spiritually smart, have more greater wisdom. All right? This is my Messiah speaking, Mark 4:13.
And he said unto them, know ye not this parable? And how then will ye know all parables?
Verse 14.
The sower soweth the word. And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown, but when they had heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts.
He covereth the faces of the judges so that you don't understand. That's Satan's aim, right? So when the word is sown, immediately Satan comes, bam, bam, immediately, and take away the word that is sown in their heart. And their hearts there refers to their minds. All right? So we have to understand the operation of the mind, because the Holy Spirit operates in our minds. Evil spirits operate in our minds because we are spirits walking around, and spirits have access to our spirits. So with the Holy Spirit dwelling in us, that is the Father speaking in us and through us. But then Satan is always there. Wherever the people of the Most High are, Satan presents himself. All right? And his aim is to kill, steal, and to destroy. All right? So he's always there, always presents himself. So he takes away the word immediately. So the earth being given into the hand of the wicked, and he covered the faces of the judges. it is that you just don't understand. He makes sure that you just do not get it. All right? Here's another one. Which one was that? 2 Corinthians 4, verse 4. Cover the faces of the judges. He covers the faces of the judges. 2 Corinthians 4, verse 4. He covers the faces of the judges. Go ahead.
In whom the God...
No, sorry, my bad. Verse 3.
But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
See here again, he covers the faces of the judges. Hid. He hides the good news. Yes? And the true good news is hidden in Christianity as well, by the way, who only look at part of the gospel and reject the other part. So the other part is hidden, even though it is there in Isaiah 61. It is hidden from Christianity by Hasatan. Covers the faces of the judges. Verse 4.
In whom the God of this world hath blinded.
The what?
The God of this world.
The earth is given into the what?
Hands of the wicked.
And so the God of this world is who?
Satan.
And so the wicked is who?
Satan.
All right, continue.
Hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Amashiach, who is the image of Allah, should shine unto them.
All right. So he can only blind the minds of them which do not believe. All right. And here comes in faith. Faith insulates us from the wicked. Believing is faith turned into action. All right? Believing is not as in our heart. Okay, I believe. It is faith turned into action. You believe and you act on that belief. You believe and you are available to be used by the Most High. So if you do not truly believe, the God of this world will blind your minds, so you cannot understand the good news, the gospel. And that's what happened to Christendom, as we just said. All right? So now we have that established, that he covers the faces of the judges. All right? We're going into another level now to show how Satan executes his wickedness upon this earth. All right? Many of what we will be doing here in our foundational things, I'll be drawing from different things that we have done, because truth can be assembled together to prove truth at all times. So Satan has the wealth of the world in his hands to give to those who worship him. That's how the earth works. That's how Satan works. If you worship him in some shape or form, he is going to give you the wealth of this world. Mattityahu 4:8-11, a couple of verses that we have did many times before. Of course, every week we do some scriptures that we have done many times before, but they are used as foundational things for foundational verses to lay the foundation for what we are saying. Go ahead, please.
Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the splendor of them, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. So the rich countries of this world, the rich leaders of this world, all have fallen down and worshiped Lucifer, Satan, in some shape or form. The world is segmented between the haves and the have-nots. The haves worship Hasatan some way or the other. Most of them are in secret societies where the upper echelons of the secret societies, because secret societies is another deception. For example, Freemasonry. Those who enter into Freemasonry, they are taught to believe that they are worshiping the Most High and they are doing things in accordance with the Most High. So when they get to a higher level, then it is revealed to them that they have been deceived and they were actually worshiping Lucifer all along. So the rich people of this earth, whether directly or indirectly, worship Hasatan. But Satan here came to the Messiah and sought to have him worship him. And verse 10, the Messiah said,
Then said Yahushua unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship Yahuwah thy Elohim, and him only shalt thou serve.
all right, worship Yahuwah only. One Alua. Okay, none else. All right, so Satan has the wealth of this world. Now, Revelation 12, it tells us that Satan was cast out on the earth. Now, the Revelation 12 prophecy here, as we have said many times before, it kicked off with the first verse referring to something that happened in the heavenly realms on September 23rd, 2017. This first verse, read it, please.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
All right, so there's no coincidence here that this happened 2017, and now we are in the time of the mark of the beast, because the mark of the beast is detailed for us in Revelation 13, the very next chapter. All right, so we are right in the time of the end, according to how this is arranged. So Satan is kicked out onto the earth. Read verse 2, please.
And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pained to be delivered.
Verse 3.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
All right, so this 7 heads and 10 horns, again, is very important to show how Satan manifests himself on this earth. 7 heads and 10 horns. We're going to look at that again soon. That is how Satan manifests himself. You have to look for something with 7 heads and 10 horns that is manifest on this earth. Verse 4.
And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before, Brother Pedro, could you please mute? And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto Allur and to his throne.
So the woman Yasharal, or Israel, produced a man-child, Yahusha. Verse 6.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of Allur, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
So the woman will be placed in the wilderness for approximately 3.5 years. Continue, please.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
All right, so we're saying that from Revelation 12, verse 1, occurred 2017. And now we are in the time of the mark of the beast. That tells us that this is a time when we're going to have the highest level of satanic activity in our lifetime and in the life of the world. Because the Messiah spoke of the great tribulation and says there will never be a time like it, never before, and will never be again. So the highest level of satanic activity is currently taking place in this world. So we are telling our listeners, now is the time to seek righteousness. When I say righteousness, I mean perfection, holiness. Seek holiness. And the word tells us that those who are holy, set apart, we're going to see in verse 11, it's going to tell us something very specific about them. All right? Because if we don't seek holiness at this highest level of satanic activity, we're going to show as well, Satan is going to get us. Anyone who is not seeking after Yahuwah with all their heart, mind, and soul to their own hurt, denying self, are going to be easy prey of the devil, who will use us at his will if we are not in perfection. We're going to see those scriptures as well. All right? Verse 10.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our Yahuwah and the power of Mashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our Yahuwah day and night.
The accuser of our brethren is cast down. And if he's cast down now, as we said, the highest level of satanic activity in the history of the world. But how do we overcome? As we were saying, that people have to just seek holiness. Revelation 12:11.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death.
Who loved not their lives unto the death? Those who overcame him. So at this highest level of satanic activity, the only way you can overcome Satan is if you are willing to die. You live your life as if you don't care about your life. Nothing is important except the word of your testimony and the blood of the Lamb.
That's it.
Okay? If you love your life unto the death, and love your life not unto the death means ultimate what? Ultimate denial of self. You deny yourself so much that your life means nothing to you. That's the only way you're going to overcome Satan at this highest level of satanic activity in the history of the world.
And there is nothing at all we can do to replace that. We can try to make it, we can try to overcome our own way, it just won't happen. So we can sit down and say, you know what, I'm gonna seek Yahuwah myself, I'm gonna just do all, it can't happen. Everything is in order. It will start when we first deny ourselves, and that which is to be done, we're gonna realize that we cannot do it because the we is now slain. The we is denied. So it is only at that point when we deny ourselves, we're going to realize that it is the Ruach that will work within us.
And this love not their lives unto the death is anything or anything.
Yep.
Anything is anything.
Whatever it is.
Whatever is thrown on us, we accept it.
That is it.
As long as it is coming from Yahuwah. All right?
Which means even death.
That's it. The only way, there's no other way. Verse 12.
Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and he that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth.
All right, say this again.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
Say it again.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
For
the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
he's going to make sure he ravages everything that has to do with Yahuwah. Anywhere his people are gathered, anywhere there is a believer in the Messiah, a true believer, the devil is going to present himself having great wrath. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. We have to be in perfection, people. It's no time to be fooling around. We have to be in perfection, or else the devil is going to get us. Revelation 12:13.
And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child.
That's what we said. Wherever his people are gathered, the woman here refers to the children of Yasharal. So in the true set-apart assemblies, he is going to seek to persecute the children of Israel, wherever they are. Wherever they are. All right? So, we were speaking about the 7 heads and 10 horns. We've done this several times before. And in Revelation 12:3, it tells us about the dragon with 7 horns. And in 13:1, it tells us about the second beast with 7 horns. And we know about the mark of the beast, which we've spoken about so many times before. So Revelation 12:3, read please.
And there appeared.
Can you see it?
Yeah, hold on, brother. Okay. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head.
So this is how Satan is identified. 7 heads, 10 horns, 7 crowns upon his head. Right? But Satan manifests himself upon this earth. How does he manifest himself? The second beast of the book of Revelation. Read, please.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy.
So Satan is manifested through a beast, and the beast, of course, is a group of nations, 7 heads, all right, 7 different heads of nations in this world. And we looked at it in more detail when we looked at Babylon and Leviathan and etc., and the dragon. In the video we did, Babylon has fallen. No, Flee from the Midst of Babylon, I think, was the video that we did. All right, so you can see it in more detail there. So Satan manifests himself through 7 nations on this earth. And in previous videos, we showed the 7 nations through which he manifests himself, which are the G7 nations, the group of 7 nations. These 7 nations are the 7 heads of the beast, scarlet colored beast. All flags have this scarlet color, this red scarlet color in their flags. This scarlet colored beast which rules the world. These are the people who come together each year, decide the fate of the world, where it is going. They lead the world, and they actually run the world indirectly as nations. All right, of course, you have people behind these nations, but that's another thing. But these 7 nations is the 7 heads of the beast. And so Satan also uses a religious organization, a woman, to control the G7 nations. He uses a woman, an organization, a religious one, to control the G7 nations. And then we have Revelation 13, 11 to 18. Seems like, all right, the second beast. Yeah.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of this earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
So as we said, this is a religious beast. All right. The first beast of Revelation 13:1 comes out of the nations. All right. Because if we go into verse 2 onwards and go back into the book of Daniel, etc., we see that these are kingdoms. But in verse 11, this is speaking of a religious order. And he had 2 horns like a lamb. There are 2 schools of thoughts, 2 things that I cannot even conclude as yet in my studies, and that is what the 2 horns are. Sometimes it looks like the 2, what do you call it? 2 powers of Christianity. And sometimes it looks like the power of Christianity and the power of the synagogue of Satan, those who say they are Jews and are not, all right? And of course, that precept is in the book of Zechariah 5, the woman who sets up her headquarters in Shinar or in Babylon. All right. Verse 12.
And, Brother Pedro, could you please mute? And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
And we know this woman is causing the earth to worship the first beast. The first beast, the kingdoms, these are they who gave us the injection that the world is taking. And the second beast is causing the people to take the injection, which is why Christendom is the biggest pusher of this injection. And Also, if you look at it, the synagogue of Satan is also pushing this injection as well, causing the earth to worship the first beast. All right? Let's go down now to the mark of the beast itself.
And he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save that he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
All right, so we have the beast causing all to take this mark. And we see this today, this religious order. Getting people to worship the beast, getting people to take this mark, because through religion, they have control of the minds of people. And when the pastor says, go and take this, everyone runs to take it. When the leaders of this world say, go and take it, everyone seems to be running to take it without questioning. Okay? But there's a very significant verse that I will probably leave that verse until later. All right, Revelation 17, 1-6. This religious beast, this religious order that runs the nations, that sits on the nations as it says. And this, of course, is equivalent to what we read in Matthew 8, when Satan said, all these will I give you, the kingdoms of the earth, if you shall bow down and worship me. So Satan has to use worship along with the kingdoms of this earth. So this beast sits upon the kingdoms. This beast of worship sits upon the kingdoms. Revelation 17:1.
And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Continue.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
See here? The kings of the earth, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. That is why you have the religious order. Have to have them to commit idolatry, worship of Satan, for the kings of the earth to be rich. Yeah? So that is why they set up this religion called Christianity, which is being detailed here, in order to get the people into idolatry, to commit fornication against Allah, in order for Satan to reward them. All right? Verse 3.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit up on a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
So the woman sits upon the beast of 7 heads and 10 horns. So the religious order leads, directs, controls this beast of 7 heads and 10 horns. So Satan here has worship, and he has the kingdoms of the world. All right? And scarlet-colored beast, we just showed in the picture, 7 heads and 10 horns. Verse 4 is going to give us a description of the woman, the religious order.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Now, we've looked at it many times before. The purple, the scarlet, the gold, precious stones, the pearls, all point to the Roman Catholics, who are the leaders of this religious order. Verse 5.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
All right. Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. This religious order is the mother of the harlots, and her also the mother has children. It's a religious order that rules and controls the entire earth. That is how Satan operates in this earth. Okay? So when you have this world religion now, so this is why Christianity presents God as the God of everyone, because he has to be the God of the earth. And why they changed the names in the original scripture and put in the names, the blasphemous names of idols in there. God the Lord and JESUS Those are the names of idols. So they create the world religion and get the people to worship the idols. That's how Satan gets worshipped in the entire earth. All right? And so that's how the wealth of the earth is distributed.
And also that is another way we can look at it, him trying to be like the Most High, because, you know, when you do all these things and get people to worship him, that is what he is after from the time of the Messiah.
All right. So let us look now at this picture here. Canada is at left. Although a secular country, I think Christianity is their major religion. All of these are secular because these people are so, these nations are so evil. This Germany second, Christianity would be their main religion, wouldn't it? Isn't it? America, Christianity would be their main religion. Italy, Christianity is their main religion. France, Christianity is their main religion. The only one out here is Japan. I think Shintoism or something like that is their main religion. But Britain here, Christianity again is their main religion. So we see the woman sits upon the scarlet-colored beast. All right. Yeah. So the proof, it says in Revelation 13:18. That's why I wanted to leave this for last. Revelation 13:18. Zachariah had made this remark once. That it says it requires wisdom. If it was a simple number 666, it wouldn't say this requires wisdom. Read, please.
Here is wisdom. Let him that had understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600, 66.
600, 66. Let him that hath understanding. Last week we dealt with wisdom and knowledge and understanding, right? So it says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. So it is not a clear-cut thing. It requires wisdom. And we looked at wisdom last week and we said that wisdom is insight into the mysteries of the scripture. Yeah.
And therefore, if it was actually 666, that would not require wisdom. So it says it requires wisdom. So that will throw out the whole 666 that you were talking about.
All right. So people looking for this thing with 666. Let's go. Revelation 13:18. 666. Let's see what it means. 666 is what's this? The Greek chi, z, stigma. Okay? 22nd, 14th, and an obsolete letter. G4742. As a what this? As a?
Cross.
Of the Greek alphabet, intermediate between the 5th and 6th, used as numbers denoting respectively 666. 666 is a numeral, 666. In the Strongs, when they get used to the Strongs, down in the minor part, they usually put something that is interpreted. So when you have the interpretation, they don't put it at the front, they usually put it down at the back and put the truth up the front. All right? So it's that thing, G472, as a cross. Where did you hear about that cross before? A cross. All right, we looked at this before again, just laying a foundation, a long study. 666, number of the beast, equal to Christ on a cross. The key is the abbreviation for Christ. Z, abbreviation letter for Zulon, a beam from which anyone is suspended across. All right. Stigma is a hole or mark pierced with a pointed instrument on the hands. Key, Z, stigma. So the second beast is denoted by Christ on a cross. And over here we have Pope Francis to follow, saying that to follow Christ, their Christ, means also to accept the cross. So it's synonymous. And he's talking the truth. Because if you follow their false Messiah, Jesus Christ, you have to accept the cross because 666, the number of the beast, is Christ on a cross. And in the middle here, we have some organizations, just a few examples. We have SDA up at the top, Church of God, Pentecostal, Lutheran Church, and you have Church of God on the bottom, all who have cross. And we know that cross is the symbol of Christianity. Okay? So this is the second beast. So just laying the foundation, of course. All right. So Satan's ministers appear to be true. This is the deception. It says in Revelation 12 that Satan who has deceived the whole world. So you cannot deceive the world if your deception is not, if your deception can easily be found out. Yeah? 2 Corinthians 11. 2 Corinthians 11, verse what I said? Let me see. 12. All right. Yeah.
But what I do, that I will do, that I may cut off occasion from them which desire occasion, that wherein they glory, they may be found, even as we. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostle of a Mashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works.
So we see Satan has ministers. Yeah?
Yep.
He has ministers. And these ministers are what? False apostles, deceitful workers. This is why whatever you are following, you have to seek the truth to see whether it is true or false.
And look at this one. Transforming themselves into
the apostles.
Okay, so look again and transforming themselves. Who transformed them? Transforming themselves into the apostle of Mashiach. So we see the very same thing taking place, and many are transforming themselves. No, I mean, who sent them? But they show up.
Yep. Such are false apostles, deceitful workers. No marvel. All right? Satan is transformed into an angel of light. So wherever Satan is, he's not going to look as if he's evil. People, that is why we have to see truth. When we tell people about Christianity, we tell them that they have to seek truth and stop seeking religion, etc. They rubbish you. They don't understand the importance of truth. It is only through seeking truth that you will be able to identify Satan's ministers. All right? Okay. So we're just going to run through a couple of things that we did last week. Because in order now to sort out Satan and his wickedness, we have to use wisdom. But we also have to run back through what we did last week quickly about the enemies of wisdom. All right? We looked at the wise verses. It's simple. The scorners and fools. Proverbs 1:22, how long ye simple ones really love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. And we looked at the enemy of wisdom being the simple, the scorners, and the fool. And we also looked at how the world rewards based on, or Satan has his reward based on earthly things, on carnal things. Yes? And we looked at the earthly wisdom that we received. And we looked at the simple ones today, the people who are simple, who are led by the devices of the wicked. Okay? So you can go back and check out our previous video, which really connects with this one in terms of wisdom. And the simple are easily deceived. This is why it's very important not to be simple, to seek knowledge and to seek wisdom. Because if you are simple at this time of the highest level of satanic activity in the history of the world, you are going to be easily deceived. Because what did it say? It says Satan who had deceived the whole world. This is a time of deception. So if you are simple, you are going to be deceived. And let's just look at one of the verses that we looked at last week, Proverbs 14:18. Proverbs 14:18.
The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge.
When you are prudent, you go and search things out. Seek diligently whether it is true or not. Like the Bereans, search the scriptures to see if it is so. Then you will not be deceived. You will, if you are simple, you will inherit folly. If you are prudent, you will not be deceived. And in so saying, we have to look at the fact that the wicked target the righteous. That's one thing about the wicked. Their target is the righteous, because the wicked are led by who?
Satan.
And so Satan is not going to target the unrighteous. He's going to target the righteous. And so flat out, these wicked have their aim set on the righteous. Psalms 11, verse 1. Go ahead.
In Yahuwah I put my trust. How say he to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain. For lo, the wicked bend their bow, they make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may privily shoot at the upright in heart.
Who do they shoot at?
The upright in heart.
They shoot at the upright in heart. Verse 3.
If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Yahuwah is in his holy temple. Yahuwah's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. Yahuwah trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth.
Oh, is what?
Yes.
Is what?
But the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth.
I thought
God
didn't hate. He loved everybody, right? And he loves the sinners, but not the sin. Eh? What does he say? Let's say it again.
But the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth.
All right, continue.
Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. For the righteous, Yahuwah loveth righteousness. His countenance doeth behold the upright.
But the wicked,
his soul hateth.
He hates the wicked. Okay. Psalms 37, 12 to 20. Psalms 37, 12 to 20. Read, please.
The wicked plotted against the just and gnashed upon him with his teeth.
All right. Who does he plot against?
The just.
So the wicked always target the righteous. Just understand that. And all of us are targeted. All of us are targeted. So when you are just, you are going to be tried. He is going to try you. If you are found wanting, if you make yourself a weak fence because you have not denied yourself, then you are going to be easy prey to the wicked. Read it again, please.
The wicked plotted against the just and gnashed upon him with his teeth.
Verse 13.
Yahuwah shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation.
That's what they're doing today, the wicked, with this mark of the beast thing. They bent their bow, getting their arrows ready to shoot in people's arms. All right? To slay such as be of upright conversation. Everyone. That's why they have removed most places have religious. Yeah, religious. They have removed religious concessions for this thing. Normally, you'll be able to get concessions easily, but no, you can get it, but it's very, very hard. All right. 15.
Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked.
So their sword shall enter into their own heart. It's easily seen throughout this world that these nations, they are taking this mark of the beast thing that is killing people. Some people are saying that in a few years, all of them will be wiped out. But it's the majority of their people who are taking this. All right? If you check out Jamaica, I think it's about 17% of Jamaicans who have a double dose of this thing that they would say is fully dosed. All right? And only 23% at last count has double dose. And Jamaica is struggling at the bottom of the region. Yeah? But their people, in their nations, they have some 90% and all of that in their nations. All right? Their sword shall enter into their own heart. Verse 17.
For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but Yahuwah upholdeth the righteous.
That's why you want to be in the righteous column so that he will uphold you. Verse 18.
Yahuwah knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever.
You see why at this time we just focus on righteousness and perfection. Their inheritance shall be forever. Don't care about what is happening in this world. Don't care about what am I gonna eat? How am I gonna work? Don't worry about that. Yeah? Yahuwah knows the days of the upright, your inheritance shall be forever. But if you bow to these people and bow to this thing, it tells you in Revelation 14:9-11 that you are going to be tormented forever. So look at this. Look at the choice. Be upright and your inheritance is forever. Bow and you are tormented forever.
Same thing, but the sin turn things around. Pick your choice.
And it's a no-brainer. Who would want to be tormented forever?
Exactly.
So to seek righteousness, understand that the word earth is given into the hand of the wicked, so that what they're giving you is wickedness. It is the mark of the beast. Reject it, and your inheritance shall be forever. Verse 19.
They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied.
Hey, you see that?
Yep.
Don't worry about what you're going to eat or what you're going to... If you have any faith at all in the Most High, you'll know that He will provide for you. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. Right. And we see the world now telling us about a famine that is coming soon. I can't understand it because it's the first I've ever seen the wicked telling us beforehand. I saw a publication in Bloomberg that told us that you think prices are high now. Wait until, I didn't even read much of the article. I just went and scanned it. So it's actually telling you that inflation is high now, but you're not going to be able to get goods. A famine is coming. And it's very strange for them to be doing this because famine normally comes, but they are telling you beforehand, which means it is planned. All right?
Hold on there, bro. When you look at verse 19, this is something I see so many times. And I wonder, why is it that they can understand? They shall not. Okay, let's go back to 18. Yahuwah knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. Mm-hmm. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time. This is it now. Mm-hmm. And in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. Mm-hmm. So some will literally ask me, what am I supposed to do? Me have to work to get all these things done. But when we see that in the day of famine, they shall be satisfied. Mm-hmm. People, we're not talking about sit down, look around, and expect in the time of famine to be satisfied. If you are walking with the rock, if you are being obedient to the Most High, if you deny yourself, that rock is going to lead you into all things, all right, including what to sustain you, that you may be satisfied. That is it.
Yeah, there's not going to be a voice that comes down and says, thou shalt do this and thou. No, the Ruach dwells in his people at this time. His Ruach, his spirit is in his people and will lead his people into all truth. All right? Verse 20.
But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of Yahuwah shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume, into smoke shall they consume away.
All right, the wicked shall perish. So we see the choice. It's a no-brainer. Anyone who wants to choose wickedness or to choose not to live upright, well, good luck with that.
Let's kind of spend a few more seconds on verse 20.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's go up to 19 again. So
Yeah.
all the one, okay, they who know it the days of the, the upright, the righteous.
The upright, yeah.
The upright shall not be ashamed in the evil time, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of Yahuwah shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume, into smoke shall they consume away. So if you're wicked,
Mm-hmm.
wait for it. If you are wicked
Mm-hmm.
and not turning away from your wickedness, guess what? What will happen? They shall consume into smoke, and they shall consume away. That is it. So, people, let's not pick and choose what we think will cause us to be consumed. Because sometimes we overlook that which is causing us to be consumed already.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know that if wickedness is within us, even if you don't do what you think is wrong, because wickedness is already there, just know that you'll be consumed, or we will be consumed. Mm-hmm. So we have to deny ourselves, so all these things will not be among us.
Mm-hmm.
That is it.
Yeah.
Because we tend to overlook wickedness. Sometimes we tend not to understand what is wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
It is there.
Yeah. All right. So another wickedness that most people ignore today is the wickedness of Christianity. The wicked gave us Christianity in order to rule the world with this one world religion, giving us false gods to worship. It is wickedness. All right? So, from the we read earlier in the book of, let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. Read below, 1 Samuel 24:13, just the first verse. I said the proverb of the ancients, wickedness what?
Proceeded from the wicked.
Wickedness proceeded from the wicked. So if the wicked gave us a religion, follow me now. If the wicked gave us religion, what is that religion?
Wickedness.
From the wicked proceeded wickedness. So the wicked gave us Christianity. Christianity was given to us courtesy of Constantine and the old church, European church fathers, the wicked of this earth.
Also, from the point where I'm seeing it, it is very clear and easy to understand. I mean, as far as where I can see it. You know why I say that? If you go, I would not use food because there are all different kind of food, right? If you go to a car mart, what do you expect to see in the car mart? The car. That's it. So if the word is given, if the earth is given in the hand of the wicked, how can we be expecting nothing good from the wicked?
And from the wicked proceeded wickedness.
That is it. It's very, very, I'm just trying to wonder if someone really missed that part. Because many of us, our ways are showing that we miss it.
Earth is given into the hand of the wicked. From the wicked proceeded wickedness. Everything that comes from them is wickedness. Psalms 50 verse 16 to 17. Psalms 50 verse 60 to 17. No, 16 to 17. It says 16. 16 to 17. Read, please.
But unto the wicked, Allah said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?
You see that? How can these people give us a religion saying that it's coming from the Most High? And the Most High has declared that he hates them through David. Exactly. The wicked and the workers of iniquity. No, the wicked and who else he says his soul hates, and those that love what his soul hates. And now he's saying, what what do you have to do to declare my statutes? How can you take my covenant in your mouth and you are wicked? And the wicked gave us Christianity and we are there fighting for it and saying this is the truth.
So, bro, in other words, it is safe to say, even to lie makes you wicked.
Even?
To lie
Mm-hmm.
make you wicked.
Mm.
Because they are giving us false doctrine. They are saying
Yeah.
all these things. So it's a lie. And they are wicked.
You're following the wickedness of the wicked,
Exactly.
which means you're following wickedness.
Loving a lie too.
Christianity is wickedness. All right? And it tells you why they cannot take his statutes in his mouth. Verse 17.
Seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee.
You see? They hate instruction. They don't want to listen. They hate wisdom and knowledge. All right? They seek their own way of wickedness. The wicked is just seeking wickedness. If they give you something to believe in, it is just to further their wickedness.
Building their wickedness.
And to throw Yahuwah's word behind them. This is another thing. So they gave you Christianity and they're saying that this is the truth of Yahuwah. No, it was intended to throw Yahuwah's word behind us so that we follow something that is false and we do not follow the Most High.
Yeah.
All right. Isaiah 50, same Psalms 58:3. 58:3. Go ahead, please. And is anyone here monitoring the chat in YouTube? I forgot all about that. I don't need, we have to get somebody to monitor that. Go ahead, please.
The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
As soon as they are born, they go astray. So these wicked who go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies, gave us a religion which we can prove to be of lies, and our people are hugging up that religion to the very end. Yeah? Christianity is a religion of lies. It comes from the wicked. Psalms 26, verse 6. 26:6. Go ahead, please.
I will wash mine hands in innocency, so will I compass thine altar.
No. It's verse 5, sorry.
Verse 5. I have hated the congregation of evildoers and will not sit with the wicked.
I will not do what?
Sit with the wicked.
So how are we sitting in this religion of the wicked? How are we sitting in this religion of the wicked? Think about that. Psalm 119:53. We're just trying to dismiss and show people this foolishness about this religion that our people hold so dearly to. The religion of the beast. Verse 53.
Horror, please mute your mics. Horror had taken hold upon me because of the wicked that forsake thy law.
The wicked that forsake thy law. And if you forsake Yahuwah's law, you have no lot nor part with him. All right? So a religion that they gave us that told us that the law is done away with, yes, forsakes the law of Allah.
Yeah.
How can that religion be the truth?
Liars.
Verse 55.
54.
5.
5. I have remembered thy name, O Yahuwah, in the night and have kept thy law.
Yeah, no. I don't know where I got that one from. That one don't think fits in. I don't know why it's there. Anyway. All right. So the wicked control the world through wickedness. So they use various means to keep us in ignorance. That's using about 10 different means that the wicked use to keep us ignorant. And so we ourselves are held to remain wicked, because we're going to look at how our wicked nature is used by the wicked to keep us in wickedness and so keep us away from salvation. So the wicked use various means to keep us ignorant. And the first and primary one, of course, is religion. They give us false religions, false gods, false messiahs, false prophets, false teachers, false this, false that, false names, false everything. All right? In order to get us into deception. And for our brothers on the other part, different, not for our brothers, for the people in the other nations, he gave them their own respected gods. So you have all sorts of religions. Thousands of religions, I think, of gods in places like India. One time, Egypt had thousands of gods as well. So this is one of the ways it keeps us ignorant and remain in wickedness. Another one is their theory of evolution, in which they hide the creation of the Most High, making it seem as if man just happened to, things just happened. Perfection. And the sun is able to be in the sky for perfect amount of time each day. The moon is able to make its rotation every month, and everything is perfect, but yet still it happened by chance. All right? That is to hide the Most High and to keep us blinded in wickedness. Another one that people might think is a joke or simple, it's this big lie about us being on a spinning ball floating through the air 1,000 miles per hour in the equator, 60,000 miles per hour through the Milky Way, spinning around the sun. When the Bible tells you clearly that the sun rotates and the moon rotates over the earth, and that we are on an immovable earth that has water above and waters below. And we could go on and on. But that lie is to hide the creation and to let us not have any confidence in the Bible. Because if you start off with the first chapter in the Bible that tells you about the creation and you defunct what is in there from the first verse, then it makes the entire book of no value. Another way that they deceive us is with their education. Yeah. False education, to educate us according to worldly standards and to educate us not to know the Most High, but to be in confusion. I remember when I was young going to school, when we went to religious education class, that class was actually mostly based on Christianity, on the Bible itself. Now you go to religious education class, they study the different religions in the earth. And so when the children are finished, they are confused. Because my son had come to me once and said, even though he grew up around me in the truth, and he went to the assembly with me every Sabbath, he started asking about the different religions. And then he started asking, oh, you know that what is the truth? And that was one of the things that dimmed his faith because of the education. All right, another way that they deceive us is through media, social media, news, movies, all deceptions in order to get us away from the Most High. Another way is video games. That's one that we underestimate. All right, I'm just running through this, but each one of them could take a whole different teaching on that. Video games that they use to deceive us, very addictive, and in the background of the video games, they use symbols and different things that they input in order to train the minds of the children. And another way that they keep us ignorant and keep us in wickedness is through entertainment, which of course is idolatry. They put up the stars and people worship the stars and gives their satanic praise. And we saw this entertainment thing with this person, I don't even remember his name, where they had a concert a couple of weeks ago and how many people died. It was the first I was hearing about that person, but he seems to have been famous. All right. Another way that they keep us in wickedness is sports, which is idolatry. They set up idols for us and keep us following these sports teams and the sports scores. And we worship them with their jerseys and their different memorabilia. All right. And keeps us wasting time and focus not on the Most High, but focused on these sporting people. Another way they deceive us is history, twisting our history telling lies about our history. All right? Told lies and give us a white Israelite people, twisting the history and putting themselves in our history. And they have done this so many times before. We're speaking about inventions. How these people use the patent system to get themselves to be the inventors of things that other people had already invented. Okay? And another way they keep us in wickedness is commerce, chasing wealth. This is a system of Babylon, chasing down money. As long as you're focused on money, Brother Mahar and I were speaking the other day, and we were saying that the business people, almost all business people are going to take this mark because wealth is addictive. And it's hard to tell a man who has developed a business and the business is growing and doing well to tell him to give up that business when they cause him to take the mark, when they say, you cannot have your business and you do not have this in your arm. Yeah? So these all keep us in the wisdom of the world and away from the wisdom of the word. All right? Let's look a little more at the wicked. The wicked are foolish, yet prosperous, and they deceive us with their prosperity. We're going to look at how David saw the prosperity of the wicked and was tempted to be jealous or envious of the prosperity of the wicked. Because whenever the wicked are reigning, the Most High makes them prosperous. But don't look at that prosperity, because it is just for a time and they are going to be swept away. Verse 3.
For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked.
This is what is fooling our people today. We are seeing the prosperity of the wicked and we want part of that prosperity. So we are willing to do everything to partake of that prosperity. Verse 4.
For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm.
So even in their death, they seem to go away in style. Yeah? The wicked, they are not perturbed. They are not chastened. They look like everything is so comfortable. Look at B. Gates. Just look at B. Gates. This man has been being around creating evil for some time. And he's there looking well comfortable, rich, and look like nothing is going to faze him. Yeah? Nice. Verse 5.
They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men.
You see that? That's how, if you look at the rich people in the world, this is what happens to them. The wicked people of the world. They look comfortable. Nothing bothers them. Verse 6.
Before I go to verse 6, that is why the question being asked so many times, why those wicked men are out there alive? Why someone can kill them? I mean, why is it that they know of those guys doing all these wicked things, but yet still they can't touch them? You see, they are there for that purpose. They are there for that purpose.
Yeah.
And guess what? They've been protected. Can you imagine? They've been protected for a time.
For a time. So we always have to stick to the point of what the whole point of our lives. Our lives is just a competition. It's whether we are going to win or either we're going to overcome or we're going to be overcome. It's like our lives is like a video game. In the end, it's either you win or you lose, right? And you play the game trying to achieve. You come upon obstacles and you try to overcome them. If you can't overcome, the obstacles are going to defeat you. That's why we are here. And that's why the wicked are set up. They are set up as obstacles in our path. And our whole task in the end is to make sure that we are perfected unto righteousness and holiness, and then we will have won the game.
That is the whole matter of it.
Huh?
I said, that's the whole matter.
Yeah, that's why these wicked are made to prosper. Verse 6.
Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment.
You know, it is so proud when B. Gates is speaking, just for example, how confident and proud he sounds. Yeah? Pride as a chain. It's around their neck. And violence covereth them as a garment. One thing that the wicked don't leave out is violence. All right? These are the people who start the wars over the world just to sell arms. Yeah? just to get down a nation. They never leave violence. Verse 7.
Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish.
You see?
Yeah.
Imagine you have $150 billion. You can't spend that out. There's nothing in this world you can use and spend that out on. They have more than heart could wish. And yet still,
They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily.
always. Verse 9.
They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth.
Continue.
Therefore, his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out of them.
Mhm.
And they say, how doeth Allah know? And is there knowledge in the Most High?
So because they are fat in their wickedness, they just confidently ignore the Most High. So that's why they continue to do wickedness, totally oblivious of the Most High, totally ignoring him. Verse 12.
Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches.
Yeah. We see since the pandemic, they tell us how much the rich have increased in wealth over the short time of this pandemic. Facebook, Apple, all of these big companies, Amazon has exploded. Yeah. Bill Gates has exploded. All of these rich people prosper in the world and increase in riches. 13.
Before I go to 13, and we as people have to be very mindful, because that which we just spoke about, the riches of this world, it can trickle down to us.
Mhm.
Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. So when we go to church and they told us that you are going to prosper, this is your day, this is your increase, this is your, how I think the Most High will give you that kind of riches in this world today.
Mhm. Mhm.
It says they're ungodly who prosper in the world, they increase in riches.
Yep.
So we have to be mindful, and may we want the same things from these guys and end up being caught right in the World Wide Web. That's it.
And verse 13 is like David is actually now lamenting that I have walked in righteousness in vain.
Mhm.
Because when you're walking in righteousness, it cannot be about riches.
Exactly.
So read 13, please.
Verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning.
So let me get something straight. When you're serving Yahuwah, there is no comfort zone.
So, it's right there.
There is no comfort zone. David is telling you the difference between the wicked and the righteous. He says, for all the day long have I been plagued
Every morning.
and chastened every morning.
So based on what we are seeing here, Brother Kazak, we're not start yet then.
No.
We're here thinking that we are there, but we're not there yet. Because he says, for all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. I oftentimes try to tell us that this is no smooth ride. All the days of our life should be going through whatever the Most High allow to happen to us. Our job, look, our time here is to keep on going over all those things, passing all those tests the Most High allow to happen to us.
Video game.
All games.
Video game, like a video game.
Exactly.
You jump over this, you run through this, you go around that.
And the truth is, many of these people today, they will master all these video games without a manual. So you see,
They'll pick it up and do it.
that's it. So they have what it takes to do it, but they choose not to. They choose to go the way of the wicked.
So they do it without a manual, but we have the manual.
The manual.
And we are not doing it.
It is by choice.
Yeah. So we have to be plagued and chastened. That means our lives are not going to be comfortable.
Listen, man, just want to be honest. It is very scary. It is extremely scary if we are saying that we are following the way and we are not plagued in some way or the other. if we have not been chastened. Because we see, he says, every morning. How many of us here been chastened every morning? Sometimes we don't even know that we have been chastened because we might rebel against that which we've been chastened about. We may overlook it. But the truth is, we have to be chastened, brother. Otherwise, we ain't going nowhere.
Yep. Verse 15.
If I say, I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me.
So when he started considering it, it was too painful for him. Oh, these people are prospering. Hey. Until verse 17.
Until I went into the sanctuary of Alua, then understood I their end.
So when you go into the sanctuary of Alua, that is when the Ruach will speak to you and lead you into all truth and let you know
the reason why they are that rich or they come by all those things, what will happen to them. And at that point, you're going to say, you know what happened? No, I no longer want to be like them.
Exactly.
The reason why we want to be like them, we did not know who they are, nor who we are. All we see is what they acquire, what they have. That's it.
And that is our scourge. Because that is why a lot of our people run to these countries. Because we see the wicked wealthy. And we say we want our peace.
Yes, man.
We are right here in Jamaica struggling and can't make ends meet. Every day we hear about murders. I want to go to somewhere that is peaceful and nice and everything and prosperous. Yeah?
Yep.
And guess what? That is the place of the wicked. Verse 18.
Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction.
So they're just building up for a fall.
That's it.
So
right,
when you are
fall.
chastened, you are being chastened for paradise. You are being chastened for the kingdom. But them, they are being cast down into destruction. Verse 19.
How are they brought into desolation? As in a moment, they are utterly consumed with terrors. As a dream when one awaketh, so, O Yahuwah, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image.
Verse 21.
Thus my heart was grieved, and I was pricked in my reins. So foolish was I, and ignorant. I was as a beast before thee.
So David is saying, I'm so ashamed that I even thought about this thing.
Exactly.
All right.
Nevertheless, I am continually with thee. Thou hast holden me by my right hand. Thou shalt guide me with thy counsel, and afterward receive me to splendor.
You see that?
Yes.
The chastening is to guide us. It's his counsel, where we learn from our afflictions.
Yep.
And afterward, only after you go through this.
Only after. Only after. Otherwise, you receive nothing, zero.
But the tendency of us is to seek a comfort zone.
Yeah.
And we have to be cognizant of that. Because whenever things are nice with us, we don't want to go through the affliction. So if people bother us or if anything happens, we just retaliate. I myself, sometimes when things are going too good and there is no affliction, no nothing, I start feeling uncomfortable and saying, whoa, I wonder if a big one is coming next. Because I'm so used to this happening. So I have to, because the soul just loves this comfort zone of earthly peace. Yes? So you don't want to be taken into affliction. But when the afflictions come, you have to turn on something inside of you and tell yourself, well, this is chastening, I have to go through with it.
And also, many of us fail to understand that it is the affliction that will help us to go. That's it. Without the affliction, we're going to stay there in our lawlessness. We're going to stay being miserable. But we need this affliction.
And in the book of Hebrews, it tells you if you don't go through the chastening, then you're a bastard. You're not his son. Very, very serious.
Because he says he chastened who he?
Love it.
Love it. So if he don't chasten you, what that mean?
Doesn't love you.
Okay.
All right. So if you don't go through the fire to be purified, then you're none of his. All right. So in the end, The wickedness in the end will be as the beginning. And how much time is it? All right. So we know we have wickedness in the end will be as the beginning. And you can go to Genesis 6, 1-8, which tells you the wickedness in the beginning. There were giants in the earth in those days. And of course, we did a video to showing the similarities that these people are putting in the DNA of the giants in this thing that they're putting in people to bring us back to the end, to match up with Luke 17, verse 26-33, that tells you that in the end, it will be the same as the beginning. Luke 17, 26-33. Luke 17, 26. And the Messiah was telling us, in the end, it's going to be just as the beginning. And as we said before, the fallen angels' DNA, the DNA of the giants are in this mark of the beast thing that they are putting in people. Go ahead.
And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the day of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And the flood came and destroyed them all.
So what does this have to do with today? Today, the end of the age, the mark of the beast. What do we see people doing? Taking this thing to go back to normal. Go back. Normal mean eating, drinking, marrying wives, giving into marriage. Everything. Totally oblivious of the times that you're in. And the prophecies that are there. They no longer deal with the prophecies. All they, oh, this is not the mark of the beast. And then they continue striving after this world. Verse 28.
Likewise also as it was in the days of Lot. They did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all.
We're going to look at a lot, something from Lot further on to explain something very interesting. Continue.
Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed.
All right, so you continue to read the rest on to 33.
In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop, and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back. Remember Lot's wife. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it.
Remember Lot's wife. One of the shortest verses in the Bible. That means when you are moving forward, do not look back. Do not look back. That's what it's telling you. Do not look back. Verse 33.
Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it.
What's this happening today now? The whole world seeking to preserve their lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to go back to normal. Everybody, oh, this thing is so scary. I need to go and take this. Whosoever shall seek to save his life. Remember Revelation 12:11. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. So this is the opposite. Seeking to save your life, not choosing to love, to not love your life unto the death. All right. Okay. So we're gonna explain something again. A lot of people are saying that these people are doing this wickedness. Don't they understand that they cannot win? Mm-hmm. Don't they understand? Daniel 12:9-10.
And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end.
The time of the end, that's around this time, right?
Mm-hmm. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand.
You get that?
Yeah.
So when they're doing their thing, they don't understand, they are blinded. The Most High blinds them. because they have to do their wickedness. So they don't understand. So our prime minister, they are doing this thing. He doesn't understand because he's been led by the wicked. Because a one world order led by Hasatan through the G7 nations that is executing this thing on this earth. All right? So none of the wicked shall understand. So they do evil, ignoring the judgment of the Most High. That's another thing about them. They totally ignore everything that the Most High says he will do to them. They ignore it. Psalms 10, 1-13.
While you're going there, you're saying something?
No, man.
While you're going to Psalms there, so it would be safe to say when we see, or if we see someone or a group of people, or the president, as you say, when you see their lacking understanding, we can check to see if they're wicked, right? Because the wicked will not understand.
Mm-hmm.
So that is in a way of trying to figure out what the problem is. Because you go to the doctor and you have so much complaint, and you want to zero in on what is causing all these problems. And he try some tests, he tried this, he tried that, and he said, but let me give you some ibuprofen, which is good for headache. And they give you that one pill, and every other sickness just get taken care of. Mm-hmm. So the very same thing when you find someone with no understanding, and you try so many things, you say, let me see if this person is wicked. And if that person is wicked, you will never understand what the Most High is saying here today.
And let me tell you something. The lack of understanding of certain things shows an underlying wickedness. Just flipping it around another angle. Shows an underlying wickedness. So when you see people and you're saying, boy, they can't understand. A lot of people listen to these teachings and similar teachings. And it's like there's really not much change to their personality. All right? A lot of people, they sit in religion, they sit in they even say they're following the way for years, and there's no change in them, or little or no change, or not change enough to bring them to holiness. It is a sure sign that there is wickedness in them. So because there's wickedness in them, no matter how much they hear, no matter how much they listen, they will not understand.
That's what I'm getting from. Go back to the verse, please, before this one.
Which was it again? Daniel.
Yeah, I think it's Daniel. Yeah, that's what I'm getting
Daniel,
when I read that verse.
12. Yeah, Daniel 12. Yeah.
Okay, so many shall be purified and made with white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. None of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. So it's very clear cut.
So the true wise are not wicked.
Exactly.
And they are the ones who will understand.
That is it. That's what I'm getting from this one.
Yeah. So, Psalm 10, verse 1. The wicked do evil, ignoring the judgment of the Most High. Go ahead.
Why standest thou afar off, O Yahuwah? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasted of his heart's desire. And blessed the covetous, whom Yahuwah abhorreth.
All right, stop there. The wicked in his pride. The people who are ruling this world, who are taking us through this thing in this world, they are the richest persons in the world. Okay? In his pride, he does persecute the poor. They have set up devices, several devices, in order to trap the rest of the world. All right? For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and bless the covetous, whom Yahuwah abhorreth. So the wicked love those who are covetous, love those like themselves, which is why, like birds of a feather, all the riches, the rich of the world stick together. In their secret societies, in their clubs, in everything, they stick together. Go ahead.
Do you realize when the wicked of this world, when they are telling you or telling us of what they are doing, that boastful look on their face,
Yes.
it's like it is so wicked and they don't care.
Yeah.
They are telling you and they smirk also. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna take out these guys first. Yeah. This one will draw their attention. Boasting about it.
Yep. Yeah, Klaus Schwab, chairman of the World Economic Forum. At the end of the fourth industrial revolution, what we will see is the fusion of our physical or digital and biological identity. Boasting that they are going to input something in us that is going to fuse our physical, digital, and biological identity. Yeah, he boasts of his heart's desire. That is their desire. So they are boasting of their desire. Verse 4.
The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after allure. Allure is not in all his thoughts.
Allure is not in all his thoughts. All right? Verse 5.
His ways are always grievous. Thy judgment are far above, out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
So they don't have any regard for the Most High, any at all. All right? They don't seek after him, and they don't even think about him. Even his judgments are far about out of his sight. They don't even think to do with the Yahuwah says he's going to do that. Ah, come on. Verse 6.
He had said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
Continue.
His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Dr. Fraud Chi comes to mind when you see all of this. Continue.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret place doth he murder and
Though he murder the innocent.
the innocent. Yep.
His eyes are privily set against the poor. That's what is happening today. These people are saying that the world is overpopulated. I saw a video where B. Gates said if they did a good job with that thing that they put in people, that they will reduce the world population by X amount. Yeah? In secret places, these people gather together and plan how they are going to murder the innocent. Which is why so many people are dropping from taking this thing. Okay? This thing that is happening on this earth is a prime example of these scriptures coming out. Verse 9.
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He don't catch the poor when he draweth him into his net.
You see that?
You catch him?
In the secret places, doth he, verse 8, doth he murder the innocent. Let us remember that what they do, they come together in their meetings, United Nations. The other day they had a climate change meeting. That's where these people come together and plan against the world. And we hear our Prime Minister coming a few days ago saying that by the end of December into early January, they are expecting a fourth wave. These people go together and plan secretly and then execute it on the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. Yeah, when you get people to go into and take this thing in their arm, you catch them in your net, you draw them in your net.
Because just as you referring to net there, as long as they catch you in their net, the next thing, they will do whatever they want to do with you. Let's use the fisherman's net. When they cast their net in the night and go in the morning and reel it in and catch all those fishes, they will do what they want to do with all those fishes because they are caught. They are now theirs.
Hopeless.
So we cannot afford to be caught in the World Wide Web because they will scale us and put whatever they want to put in us and use us. That's it.
Yep. And this thing that they're putting into us as well, when they catch us in that web, that's it. Because that thing is going to do so many things inside our bodies. They now own us. They can patent us because they have adjusted certain critical parts of our bodies. We now become genetically modified. All right?
Just as I just say that, what the devil cannot do that the Most High can do, or what the Most High did. He can do, is it that he can do everything except blowing breath in man?
Yeah, the Most High allows him.
Right.
The earth is given into his hands. Yeah.
Mhm. So guess what? Let us look on almost everything else is right there for him to use because he's allowed.
Mhm.
And we want to believe that maybe one of the reasons why he's not allowed to blow breath in man, one, that will make him equal to Allah.
Mhm.
Two, we do as he like and we make people say, hey, go live. And that's only Yahuwah can do that. Okay, so we look and see everything in this world. Don't be tricked, don't be deceived, don't be like Marvel. Yes, there are wickedness. He can do all those things. The time will come when many of us will be so deceived because that which the enemy will do, we will say that is the Most High.
Mhm.
But no, that's not the Most High. We have to remember all of these.
Remember, they were saying that it's the Most High that gave us this thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
As you were saying.
So
Yeah.
we have to be more spiritual, careful. We have to do more spiritual inventory on ourselves each day. 'Cause look, the devil, the wicked man,
Mhm.
if he was so presumptuous enough to try to go up against the Most High, and he get beat up,
Mhm.
and he tried the same thing with the Messiah, and he lost. Why do you think he won't try the same thing with us today?
Woe unto the inhabitants of
On
the
earth. Woe. Because that is where he gone.
Yep.
So he is no longer in heaven.
Mhm.
He's down here causing havoc.
Mhm.
So let's not be deceived, family.
Verse 10.
Arise, O Yahuwah.
No, verse 10.
20. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones.
See? He croucheth and humbleth himself. These people come to you so nice and so calm. Huh?
And offer.
Yeah. That the poor, he's targeting the poor,
Mhm.
giving poor a stipend to come and take this thing. Verse 11.
Hold on. And the poor may fall by his strong ones.
Yeah.
Working with him.
Yeah.
You see?
Mhm.
He had said in his heart, Allah had forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it. Arise, O Yahuwah, O Allah, lift up thine hand. Forget not the humble. Wherefore doth the wicked contemn Allah? He had said in his heart, thou wilt not require it.
So that's why the wicked continue their wickedness. Yeah. Anybody wondering why these people do it and don't stop and they know the Bible, they're saying Yahuwah, child, that's not gonna happen. Just like a lot of people today, they say, oh, we have been hearing so long about this end time, about this thing and this, that, and this, they start mocking about this God coming from the sky and about anybody delivering. Nobody's coming to deliver you. Nobody's this. Yes? Everybody, the wicked, feel as if Yahuwah will not require it. All right. So we have the wicked polluting the world with the mark of the beast, which is what most of what we are speaking about today. And what the part I want to look at is, and he caused it all. I have and he caused it Ali. And he caused it all. And he caused it all. This is what we're seeing today. Every nation is doing things to cause their people to take this thing. And to cause means they put stumbling blocks, different things in their way that they have no choice but to take it. Of course, they have a choice to seek after Yahuwah, but worldly, they don't have any choice but to take it. So the wicked polluting the world with the mark of the beast. But what is the heritage of the wicked? With all of this that we are seeing, what is the heritage of the wicked? Job 24 to 29.
Well, you're going for Job 20, bro.
Yeah.
When we see some of even our loved ones who went and received that no good thing in their body. And we talk about cause, right? And we ask, why did you do that? Because.
Yes.
Because.
Yes.
My boss said to take it. Because if I don't take it, I won't have a job. Because. You see, it caused it all.
Yeah. And he's gonna continue to cause people to take this thing. Oh man, it's 20 verse 4, not 21. All right, go ahead.
Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth,
This has have always been happening, ever been happening. That
the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment,
you see?
for a short time.
So that's why we're telling people that these end times, and people are saying, how am I going to work? We're telling people,
For a moment.
but this is only for 42 months. Revelation 13:5. The time of the wicked is always short. It's only for 42 months. Read verse 5, please.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
Only 42 months the first beast has been given. 42 months. So the time, the triumphing of the wicked is short.
It is short.
So anybody wondering about this thing, if you cannot soldier out for 3.5 years to save your soul, then your soul is not worth saving. 3.5 years. You might have been here for maybe 50, 60, 70, 80 years.
But sometimes people have plans that will last 4 years. And they sit down, they plan,
Yes.
they plan. I think maybe even some weddings. Some weddings they plan for many years.
They take mortgages
Yes.
for 20 or 30 years. Continue.
So I'm just saying, I mean, they choose. It's a choice.
Yep.
They will choose to wait 20 years to pay off for the house to say, yes, I own this house. But for your soul, 3.5 months. Oh, that's too long.
3.5 years.
Years, that's too long. I can't do that. Can you imagine? We are talking about your soul.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, you'll be burning in that fire, according to the scripture, with brimstone.
Verse 6.
Thou, his excellency, mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
What are we to say? Continue.
He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him.
And if we look at the prophecies of Babylon, etc., Edom in the end, Assyria in Revelation, when the Messiah is returning, it's the same thing. Boom, they're going to be no more. Continue.
His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods.
Same thing that we're saying, that in the end, they will restore all the wealth unto us. All the oppression that they gave unto us, it shall be restored. Continue.
His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth. Yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of asp within him. He had swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahuwah shall cast them out of his belly.
Just for a time. Continue.
He shall suck the poison of asps. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein, because he had oppressed and had forsaken the poor, because he had violently taken away an house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired.
You see, all of this is coming for the wicked, because this is the end of the age. 21.
There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man, scroll down, shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straight every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
So the wicked shall be upon the wicked. Yeah, we can stop there. Can read the rest for the sake of time. All right. Now, a very important thing here is that Yahuwah will not destroy the righteous with the wicked. But we're going to see something very interesting after this. All right. Yahuwah will not destroy the righteous with the wicked, but look at the interesting thing about this point here. Very interesting. Genesis 18:23 to 26. Genesis 18:23 to 26. Read, please.
And Abraham drew near and said, Wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure, there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein?
This was before Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, yeah? Abraham was making a petition because he knew that his nephew Lot was down there. Continue.
That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked. That be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? And Yahuwah said, If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sake.
50 righteous, don't go any further. 50 righteous. So the Most High would not destroy the city. And the 50 righteous there, Abraham realized that there weren't 50 righteous, so he took his time and inched it down till he reached the 10. Verse 32.
And he said, Oh, let not Yahuwah be angry, and I will speak yet but this one. Peradventure 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy if for 10's sake.
Destroyed for 10's sake. So a lot of places, the execution in many places are being stayed for the righteous. But we're going to show that it's stayed for the righteous to depart from among the wicked. Because we're going to see that he will not destroy the righteous with the wicked, but if the righteous remain among the wicked, they will be destroyed.
So that's the reason why when we see scriptures like come from the midst of her. So what? So you will not be cut off in their iniquity.
So when we tell people about fleeing from the midst of Babylon, where will we go? Where should we go? Everywhere is Babylon.
Because from 50 coming down to 10, it is saying that there might be, or there could be 10 for 2, or even 15, but they are in the midst of the ones who will be destroyed.
Yep.
So you see again, wisdom comes in. Wisdom have to be active to get it.
Yep. So if you're in the midst of the wicked will pollute you.
That is it.
It goes back to Torah. If you touch an unclean thing, what does that make you?
Unclean.
That's what the Torah says. It's the same principle that the Most High uses. You're among the wicked, that makes you unclean, even if you are righteous. Let's go there. The righteous must leave from among the wicked, or they too will be destroyed. Job 9:22 to 24. Job 9:22 to 24. This is why you have to flee from the midst of Babylon, people. You have to come from amongst the wicked and separate yourself. Read, please.
This is one thing. Therefore, I said it. He destroyed the perfect and the wicked.
He does what?
Destroy the perfect and the wicked.
Hear verse 23 now.
23. If the scourge slays suddenly, he will laugh at the trial of the innocent. Yep.
He will laugh at the trial of the innocent because the innocent did not move away from the wicked.
And yeah, exactly. Because the wicked going to know that they are wicked.
Yeah.
And they will also know that these guys are innocent.
The innocent is going to know that they are
They're
wicked.
wicked. And to be slain or to be tried together, I mean, you're going to feel ashamed. You're going to laugh at the man, you're doing this and you're still among us. So it is very, very clear to me. If I find 50, okay, fine, I will save the city. That's 50.
Mhm.
But they were in the midst of the wickedness.
Exactly. And the other morning we were speaking about tempting Yahuwah. This is tempting Yahuwah.
Yeah.
You are righteous and you stay among the wicked. You're tempting you. Oh, Yahuwah will save me. That's what a lot of people say in response. I remember one woman saying it to me. Oh, I don't have anywhere to go. Yahuwah is able to save me wherever I am. No, I'm looking at this more directly.
And we have to also look back when Satan tried the very same thing with the Messiah. Most friends are down in the gully, and his angels will just catch him.
Yes.
You see that?
Yeah. So stay among the wicked. Oh, Yahuwah is able to save me. He will save me. I have nowhere to go.
You know why they say that they don't know who Yahuwah is? They just don't know him.
And verse 24 actually tells you why this thing is. Read 24, which is the theme of our presentation.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
So if you're among the wicked, he's going to cover the faces of the judges. He's going to cover your face. He's going to deceive you. All right? Move from amongst the wicked.
Hold a second there. I mean, let's stay here for a few more seconds. When we know that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, wicked men here today are doing their thing in the world to take control because it is given in their hand, right? But yet still the scripture is telling us how we can be saved. You understand? He sent to us to do all these things for a reason. So one might say, but why is it that the earth is given in the wicked hand? But yet still the word is saying we can do all these things, do this, do that, and we'll be okay. It is because we don't understand that even though the earth is given in the hand of the wicked, we don't have to be a part of the wickedness. Just come out.
Yeah, man. Move yourself.
Just come out.
Move away from them.
Because it is wicked, the time is going to come when the Most High is going to draw his sword and slew them utterly. And if you're found in the midst of wickedness, you'll be utterly destroyed. Because if you are saying you're following the way, you have no business in a go-go club, dropping foot, drinking liquor. You are in the midst of wickedness.
Yes.
So if that night the Most High decided to slay that nightclub, you also will be slain and be destroyed.
Yep.
That is it. 22.
So we're going to look at Lot now. Remember I said, remember Lot's wife. All right. So, where was I? So Lot here was told to flee to the mountains. Am I at the right verse? 12 to 26. Oh, yes. Wrong verse. Got to go up further. 12. Read, please.
And the men said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides?
Stop there. And who said unto Lot?
The men.
And we know that it was angels who rescued Lot. All right. And it says, and the men said unto Lot. All right. Let's part that in our minds. Hast thou there any besides?
Son-in-law, and thy sons, and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place.
Bring them where?
Out of this place.
So Sodom was to be destroyed. What did they do? The angels went and did what? Took out the righteous. They did not say, okay, we are going to destroy this place, but don't worry. You're going to be protected in the midst of the wicked. You know, bring them out of the destruction. Verse 13.
For we will destroy this place.
For what?
We will destroy this place.
So you have to do what?
Bring them come out of this place.
All right.
So go back down to 12 a little bit. 12, go back to 12. So what you just said a while ago, it just come out even more. And the men said unto Lot, so you're saying the angels, right?
Yeah.
And we go down to 13, for we will destroy this place.
Mhm.
So it can be men.
Yep. It's an angel.
Wow.
Continue.
14, or did I finish it?
Yeah, let me just get a verse. There's a verse that I wanted to get. Second Peter 7. We just want to emphasize the point that Lot was righteous, right? Verse 7.
And delivered just Lot,
Righteous Lot.
vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
So what he's saying that Lot was in the midst of the wicked and he was angry with the filthy conversation. He was righteous. So he had to be taken out from among the wicked before it is destroyed. Continue.
For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah had sent us to destroy it.
All right?
And you want to say something?
No, continue.
And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for Yahuwah will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his son-in-law.
The same thing we're telling people, that you have to get out of Babylon, the midst of Babylon. Come out of their midst, and it seems as if we are mocking. You know, they are mocking us as to what we are saying. But you can see this thing developing, and you see them telling you about famine, etc. You know how serious it is going to be soon. So what about his sons-in-law who did not decide to leave the city? Were they saved in the city? Huh?
Nope.
Okay. Verse 15.
And that is the next, that is disobedient also.
Yeah.
Where you disobey the Most High, things happen that is not going to be in your favor. And when the morning arose.
Sorry. And that goes to the wicked. They also had a wicked heart. Remember it says the wicked, none of the wicked shall understand.
Right.
So they didn't understand what was happening. Continue.
And when the morning arose, then the angels, so you see again, it come right back around when I say the men.
Yeah. So
then the angels.
So the angels manifest themselves as men.
Right.
Very simple.
The angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. Man.
Just want to establish this, you know. Yeah, man.
And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here. Otherwise, or lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city.
And we just established that Lot was righteous. Go ahead.
So, just in case someone is going to say, you know what? Because what I read here, it was the angel took them out. So, I will not move until the angel come and take me out. You see that? I'm just saying, because people are that simple.
Yeah.
When the Most already, he will come and take me out.
Yes, they will say that.
You understand? I mean, where am I going? I ain't going nowhere. He will come and take me out.
All right. But the difference with today is that we have the gift of the Ruach.
That's it.
It dwells in us. He will lead you into all truth.
All truth.
And the Messiah said, whatever he hears, that he shall speak. So whatever he hears, or the Most High will give the Ruach messages to give us.
That's it.
Simple. And he doesn't have to come and say, thus saith Yahuwah,
right.
Thou shalt not. He just speaks in your heart, in your mind, and leads you from truth to truth. Leads you manifesting, matching up with scripture, matching up scriptures for you, leading you into truth so you can get the understanding.
And that is why one cannot walk. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, they have to be a witness.
Yes.
Who will talk to you?
Who
will confirm?
In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, Read, go ahead.
And it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, escape for thy life. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed.
All right.
Don't leave Chicago and go in the same city in Chicago.
Ah.
You see that?
Mhm.
Don't leave Bronx and go into Manhattan. It says, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, because the Bronx and Manhattan will still be in the plain.
Mhm.
Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed.
Look not behind thee. No turning back.
No turning back.
No turning back. All right. The staying in the plain is because that is where people dwell.
Mhm.
Always dwelling in the plains. All right. 18.
And Lot said unto them, oh, not so, my master. Behold now, thy servant had found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast shewed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape, hold on.
Oh, sorry. And I cannot.
And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die.
Mhm.
Behold now, this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live.
So Lot didn't want to go into the mountains, but he saw a little city. That means very few people live there. And so he was allowed to be there because he was still in relative isolation. Verse 21.
And he said unto him, see, I have escaped thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city, for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore, the name of the city was called Zoar.
And this Zoar means little. That's a Hebrew word, and it means little. All right, verse 23.
The sun was risen up, the earth went
Upon the earth.
The sun was risen up on the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then Yahuwah rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from Yahuwah out of heaven.
So Yahuwah, when Lot escaped from Sodom, that is when rained brimstone and fire. All right? The Most High is sending messages to his people. And right now, throughout all the world, many of his people are leaving these built-up areas. Many of his people are seeking to flee to the mountains. Okay? And everything looks like it's okay now. But I know that when the Most High takes out his people through his Ruach, then it's going to be truly, truly problematic. Go ahead.
So scroll on back to 24, please, a little bit. Then Yahuwah rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from Yahuwah out of heaven. So just imagine they delayed one more day. I mean, just imagine. And how many of us today are still in a delay mood, hoping that the Most High will have all the patience with us? We just don't know. So what you need to do, bro, is to move according to the Ruach. Don't hesitate, don't wait, because the Most High time is set to judge the wicked, and we don't know when that time is. So let's not hesitate or procrastinate. Let's just move according to the Ruach. And we know that we cannot have the Ruach until self is denied.
Yep.
25.
Yep.
And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities, and that which grew upon the ground.
He overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities. All right, that's the built-up area that he destroyed. Verse 26.
But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt.
That's what the Messiah meant when he said, remember Lot's wife. So when it's time to move, do not look back, or else you're going to be in problems.
And again, we have to look on how deadly it is to disobey. Just disobey. Just disobey. She disobey and she turn in a pillar of salt.
Yep. As an example, the Most High set her as an example.
You know?
So the righteous must leave from among the wicked, or they too will be destroyed. That's also in one of our favorite verses, Jeremiah 51, verse 5 to 9. Flee from the midst of Babylon. It's the same principle. Read, please.
For Israel had not been forsaken, nor Judah of his allure. For Yahuwah Sabaoth, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel, flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahuwah's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
All right, so the same principle. Flee and deliver your soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity.
So why should we flee?
Deliver every man his soul.
That's it. So if one don't want his soul to be delivered, they're going to stay in the city.
Yep. Jeremiah 50, verse 26 to 28. Go ahead,
26.
please.
Come against her from the utmost border. Open her storehouses. Cast her up as a heap, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left.
This is the destruction that's coming to Babylon. 27.
Slay all her bullocks. Let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation.
Read.
The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon.
Start again. The voice of them that do what?
The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon.
To declare where?
To declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahuwah or Aluah, the vengeance of his temple.
That means those who have their eyes set on Babylon are going to flee and escape out of the land of Babylon.
That is it.
Simple. So if you have your eyes set on Zion, if you're a believer following the way, you have to flee from the midst of Babylon. And of course, it's also there in the book of Revelation 18, verses 1 to 5. Revelation 18, 1 to 5. Read, please.
And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his splendor. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every false spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
In other words, Babylon has become very wicked. Because?
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
So because Babylon is slated to be destroyed, verse 4 says,
and I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that he be not partakers of her sins, and that he receive not of her plagues.
Simple.
That's it.
Always come out. It's always getting out from among the wicked.
And I just love how it is structured, because he tell why. He say why we must not be in the midst, why we should not be partakers of our sins.
Because if we do, we will receive
our plagues.
Yeah, the punishment, we will partake of the punishment. Okay? All right, now that we established that, good that we established that. So we know that our place is not really among the wicked. So when we see people rejecting this Babylonian system, moving away from among the wicked, then we can understand. Those of us who never had the understanding can understand. All right? Now, a very important thing that most of us don't understand is that the righteous shall rejoice in the destruction of the wicked. Many people believe that the righteous are going to see the wicked being destroyed and are going to be sorry for them and say, oh my, why is this happening to them? Yes? The righteous shall rejoice in the destruction of the wicked. So if we are around when the wicked are being destroyed, what is it again? Psalms? Psalms 58. Psalm 58. Is it? 10. You got it?
Yeah, it's there.
Read, please.
The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked.
All right. So the righteous, when you are righteous, when you see the vengeance of Yahuwah being executed on the wicked, you think you're going to be sorry for them. If you are truly righteous, you are going to hate wickedness. Just as the Most High hates the wicked, you're going to hate wickedness.
Yeah.
He shall even wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. Verse 11.
So that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Verily, he is a lower that judgeth in the earth.
Yeah. So when we see the wicked doing their thing and prospering and everything, when they go down, the righteous is going to rejoice and say, hey, Alua is the righteous judge. Psalm 92:11. We are doing this study to let us get an understanding of this wicked world, yes? How it is structured and how it is run, so that we cannot be deceived. As long as you understand the wicked and know that the earth is given into their hands, when you understand the wicked, it is hard to be deceived. Verse 11.
Mine eye also shall see my desire on mine enemies, and my ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me.
All right, that's it. The righteous are going to rejoice or be happy in the destruction of the wicked. All right, so we looked at wicked as a very short time. We should have looked at this at that time, but both Satan and man have a short time on this earth. Both Satan and man have a short time on this earth. And we read it before in Revelation 12:12. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth, something like that. Yeah, read verse 12 again, please.
Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and he that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, let me start over. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and he that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
All right, he has a short time, but man also has a short time. This is where we have to be cognizant of this fact. So because man has a short time, and because the devil has a short time, guess what? We have to redeem the time because the days are evil. We have to make sure that we perfect ourselves right away. We don't know the time when we will be called. We don't know what is going to happen next. We have to perfect ourselves now. Now. Verse 1.
Yahuwah created man of the earth and turned him into it again. He gave them few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein.
Few days and a short time. So we have to redeem the time because the days are evil. We have to make the best with our time. All right? I mean, seeing the significance of Satan having a short time in that he is going to put everything, make everything concentrated. That's why in this time, the time of tribulation, it says, woe unto the earth and the inhabitants, because Satan has come down. He's going to, because of the short time, going to pack all of his evil in a very short time period. And because our time is short, we have to make sure we pack our holiness, righteousness in a very short time, right away. No, a lot of people you talk to, oh, it's a process. Oh, in his time, he will perfect me. Oh, one day at a time. Oh, no. This is the time of the greatest evil will be in this earth within the next few years. We have to be perfect now, right away. All right? So, it is the Most High who delivers us from the wicked. Read, please.
He that love Yahuwah hate evil. He preserveth the soul of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked.
Notice who he delivers out of the hand of the wicked. Is it the wicked he delivers out of the hand of the wicked? His saints, his set apart ones. And what will they do? Ye that love Yahuwah hate evil. His saints are going to hate evil.
So if any one of us here today, any one of us love evil, what happened?
It can't be saints.
Or we hate Yahuwah?
Yeah, that means he hate. Yeah,
exactly.
That's it.
It is just, many of us, I think all of us here today, even on YouTube land, would not love or want to hear that we hate Yahuwah. Mm-hmm. Maybe some would fight for that.
Yep.
But if you love any evil things, it's automatic that you hate Yahuwah.
Yep.
That's just it.
And he will not deliver you.
Yes. You see,
hate him.
Do you see the very thin line? It's a very thin line. So we have to be very mindful how we live throughout these perilous times.
Lord, he delivered them out of the hand of the wicked. So he's the one who delivers us, but he delivers his saints, his set apart ones. And Revelation 14:12, here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Allah and the faith of Yahusha. You have to be walking in the faith of Yahusha. That's another thing. You have to be walking in the faith of Yahusha and keeping his commandments. Most people believe that if they keep the commandments, they're okay. You're not. And probably if we have time, we're going to look at that. We are not justified by the deeds of the law, but by the faith of Yahusha. Anyway, so we just look at the nations of the world, Satan, the wicked of the world, how they structure themselves, how they kill us with their wickedness, how they seek to destroy us. Now we're going to look at ourselves. Wicked we. It's going to be uncomfortable for some people. But we're going to look at the fact that we are all inherently wicked as a result of the sin of Adam. Man was born with a wicked heart. That is why it's so easy for the wicked, for the wicked of this earth to capture us, because we have a naturally wicked heart. So when he comes to us with his wickedness, our hearts and our souls are going to gravitate towards the wickedness, because we are naturally wicked. And this is something that we have to understand, people, as we walk every day. Everything that happens to us, every time we get angry, every time something happens, we have to understand, you know what, I'm naturally a wicked person. I have to control myself. I have to allow the Ruach to control me. Because if you are not controlled, the wicked shall do what? Oh. And not because you say you repent and you're baptized or you are following the way. It doesn't mean that the wickedness leaves you. You are inherently wicked, and it is only through denying self, and that's why it's important to deny self, because self is wicked. So whenever we talk about me, we are talking about a wicked person. Whenever I talk about I like this, I don't want to do this, I don't know, that is coming from a wicked person. That is saying that I am wicked, because we are all born with a wicked heart. Let's look at it. 2 Ezra 3:17-22. 2 Ezra 3:17. Don't get it twisted.
Ready?
Yeah.
And it came to pass that when thou leadest his seed out of Egypt, thou broughtest them up to the Mount Sinai.
That's the seed of Jacob, children of Israel. Go on.
and blowing the heavens,
Bowing.
and bowing the heavens, thou didst set fast the earth, movedest the whole world, and madest the depth to tremble, and troubles the men of that age.
Mhm.
And thy splendor went through 4 gates of fire, and of earthquakes, and of wind, and of cold, that thou mightest give the law unto the seed of Jacob, and diligence unto the generation of Israel. And yet tookest thou not away from them a wicked heart, that thy law might bring forth fruit in them.
All right. So the law was given to Jacob, but the Most High did not take away the wicked heart from them. That is why they caused so many problems, because why the Most High had to take them through this long journey in order to perfect them through their experiences. Same thing for us today. We are given the Torah, but we are given a boost with the Ruach, the Holy Spirit in us, that can lead us into all truth and lead us into obedience to the law. But we are taken through different journeys throughout our experiences. But the whole point being that a wicked heart remains in us. 21.
For the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, transgressed and was overcome, and so be all they that are born of him.
Yay. Say it again.
For the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, transgressed and was overcome, and so be all of us, the whole of we,
Yeah.
that are born of him.
All of us have a wicked heart in us. Yeah.
Continue.
So a lot of us are justifying ourselves, thinking that we tend to want to blame people when they transgress against us. All right? Justifying ourselves above others. But we too have a wicked heart. So we too have to understand that there is wickedness in us as well. So the fact that I am able to control that wickedness in me does not mean that I'm any better than another person. So our call is to call people out of this wickedness, to lead them in the way so that they can be led by the Ruach, so that they can truly overcome the wicked nature that has been fashioned in them. All right? Verse 22.
Thus infirmity was made permanent, and the law also in the heart of the people with the malignity of the root, so that the good departed away and the evil abode still.
So even if you have the law, all right, even if you have the law, the malignity of the root of wickedness is planted in you. You cannot walk in righteousness. And this is why the law is not enough, because of the wicked heart that you have. This is where the Messiah comes in. And this is where the Ruach comes in, to get you to overcome the wicked nature that is fashioned in you. Verse 23.
So the times passed away, and the years were brought to an end. Then didst thou raise thee up a servant called David.
Okay, that part was extra. Jeremiah 17:9-10. The wicked heart that is fashioned in us. Jeremiah 17:9-10. We got to get this thing straight away so we know that we have to be aware of our own selves. Verse 9.
The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Not even us can understand our heart. That is why we have to just surrender. This is why you have to walk in the Ruach. This is why you have to say, give up yourself and let the Ruach lead you. Because if you do anything according to your own heart, it's going to deceive you, because it is desperately wicked. Verse 10.
I, Yahuwah, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
See that? The Most High knows our wicked heart and he tries us. So even though he fashioned a wicked heart in us, we are going to be guilty if we misuse and continue with that wicked heart. Second Ezra 7, 46 to 61. Second Ezra 7. Go ahead, please.
I answered then and said, this is my first and last saying, that it had been better not to have given the earth unto Adam, or else when it was given him to have restrained him from sinning.
It's just what saying, but you didn't give Adam the earth. But if you gave him, you should have stopped him from sinning. Verse 7, 47.
For what profit is it for men now in the present time to live in heaviness, and after death to look for punishment?
Yeah.
O thou Adam, what thou hast done? For thou it was thou that sinned. Thou art not fallen alone, but we all that come of thee.
Yeah. All get this wicked heart from Adam. Yes. And we dare say, and that's why we're telling the woman as well, that the same spirit of Eve is in woman, and the same spirit of Adam is in all mankind. Mm-hmm. Nothing changes. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. Verse 49.
For what profit is it unto us, if there be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death, and that there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas everlasting being most wicked are made vain.
No, we ourselves being most wicked
are made vain.
All right. So he's saying, what benefit is there if there is everlasting life that is promised to us, when we, being most wicked, are made vain, chasing after vanity? Verse 51.
And that there are laid up for us dwelling of health and safety, whereas we have lived wickedly. And that the splendor of the Most High is kept to defend them which have led our weary life, whereas we have walked in the most wicked ways of all. And that there should be a paradise whose fruit endureth forever, wherein is security and medicine, since we shall not enter into it.
So there are great promises. He's saying, what use are these promises if our wicked hearts are going to prevent us from entering in? 54.
For we have walked in unpleasant places, and that the faces of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness.
Notice who is going to shine? The faces of them that have used abstinence. These are the people who have chosen to give up everything to walk in righteousness. 56.
For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death.
None of us do. Yeah. Until a certain point in time. Verse 57.
Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle. Which man that is born upon the earth shall fight?
You remember the same thing you were saying? It's like a game.
Yep.
It's like an obstacle course. He says, the battle, which man is born upon the earth shall fight. All of us don't know. We just come and we live. Babylon has set the place set up, and we chase after cars, we chase after women, we chase after houses, we chase after devices, we chase after land, we chase after everything, not knowing that the real reason we are on this earth is like a game. That's it. That's it.
We don't want to face the battle. This is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. But many don't want to. They want to just press a button and it happens.
And they live through life and they die. When they're dying, they have no regard for the Most High, not knowing that they are going to have to give an account for what they have done. Verse 58.
That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. For this is the life whereof Moses spake, For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life, that thou mayest live.
It's a choice.
Mhm.
It's a choice. Choose. And if you choose life, you will live.
Mhm.
But the way of life, it's not a cakewalk. Continue.
Nevertheless, they believe not him, nor yet the prophet after him. No, nor me, which have spoken unto them, that there should not be such heaviness in their destruction, as shall be joy over them that are persuaded to salvation.
There shall not be heaviness. The Most High is not going to be sorry for their destruction, but he's going to have joy over those who have chosen salvation. All right, so they didn't believe Moses, or they didn't believe the prophets. Yeah? Nor Esdras. They don't believe him. They just continue living lives. Neither do they believe us as well. They just continue living lives as if they will never be required to give an account for their lives.
And as you just said, nor believe us. Let's look again in verse 60. Nevertheless, they believe not him, one, nor yet the prophet after him, nor me which have spoken unto them. And if we are speaking the very same thing, it applies. They are not believing on us either. So if we don't understand or believe and go back to the scriptures, we will see that that which is being taught is scripture. And it would not be strange or new for us because they didn't believe the prophets.
Yeah.
You see? Who are we? We are nothing.
Yeah.
So we cannot even feel bad nor act up. They did not believe Esdras. The prophets, they did not believe him. So what do you think you are, brother C? Because them on YouTube land don't believe, you're going to feel, oh man, I do have put in all these works and I study. Who are you?
Yeah.
Humble yourself. I keep on doing that which is right. That's it.
Praises to the Most High. Verse 16 of Sirach 17. We're looking at the fact that every man is wicked from inherently wicked. 16.
Every man from his youth is given to evil.
Every man from his youth is given to evil. From the baby, they are given to evil. Continue.
Neither could they make to themselves fleshy heart for stony.
All right. And we cannot save ourselves from this sinful body. That's what it's saying. This is Romans 7. He's telling you there. Neither could they make to themselves fleshy hearts for stony. Verse 17.
For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is Yahuwah's portion.
Okay. So he set a ruler of every people, and then he set this nation for himself and said, this nation is mine, because among all the wicked of the earth, I am going to show them righteousness. And I am not going to force them and get them to stop sinning, as it was said in what? Esdras, that Adam, he should have made Adam not to sin. No, he's going to teach them and show them. Verse 18.
Whom, being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline, and giving him the light of his love, doth not forsake him.
What does he nourish Israel with? Discipline. That's why our lives are so hard and so tough as a people, because the Most High disciplines us. He loves us. So as a father loves his children, that's how the Most High chastens us. All right?
Yeah, let me throw in a small piece on this one. So the very same thing, you see, the scripture is right playing out in our lives today. You see, whom being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline. He feed him and discipline. Two children, where children are growing up, were told to stay in the yard. Don't leave. That's your father talking to you. Don't leave the house today. There are some outside, their parents don't really care. They can go out, they can play, they could go swim and all those things. They're having fun. But you are there saying, man, I can't go out. And if you obey the Most High, your father, you're going to find that you'll find yourself right in scripture. They're having their nice time. You cannot, all because you obey the Most High. So their nice time in the world, you realize is not the Most High's nice time.
Yes.
So let's obey. Obey bring us a long way. Whom being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline.
Nourish. So discipline nourishes you.
And giving him the light of his love doth not forsake him.
So discipline is love.
It is. Because they say the food is nourishing. It is good for you. You'll be healthy. The same thing, discipline. It will nourish you, give you health and strength.
Sometimes people are being disciplined. People say it's not love.
Yeah.
Discipline is love. Verse 19.
Therefore, all their works are as the sun before him, and his eyes are continually upon their ways.
The children of Israel, wherever we are as Israelites, the Most High watches everything we do like a hawk, continually upon us. All right? And when we go out of the way, he disciplines us. Verse 20.
None of their unrighteous deeds are hid from him, but all their sins are before Yahuwah. But Yahuwah, being gracious and knowing his workmanship, neither left nor forsook them, but spared them. The arms of a man is as a signet with him, and he will keep the good deeds of man as the apple of the eye, and give repentance to his sons and daughters.
Repentance is the key to rid ourselves of the luggage of the wickedness. Verse 23.
Afterwards, he will rise up and reward them and render their recompense upon their heads.
Render their recompense upon their heads. Verse 24.
But unto them that repent, he granted them return and comforted those that failed in patience.
All right. So verse 23. Afterwards, he will rise up and reward them. These are those who have not repented. So the reward sounds like it's positive. Oh, they're going to get something good. Oh, he's going to render their recompense upon their heads for the wickedness that they have done.
Yep.
But unto them now, in contrast, verse 24.
But unto them that repent, he granted them return and comforted those that failed in patience.
Repentance is the key. Verse 25.
Return unto Yahuwah and forsake thy sins. Make thy prayer before his face and offend less. Turn again to the Most High and turn away from iniquity, for he will lead thee out of darkness into the light of health, and hate thou abomination vehemently.
All right. So this is a turning to Yahuwah, and he will lead us away from our wicked, sinful ways. All right. And it says here again, hate thou abomination vehemently. We have to hate sin, because if we don't hate sin, guess what we're going to do? We're going to sin.
Yep.
Because if we don't find it abominable to do something, then the chances are we are going to do it. And it says to hate it vehemently. That means aggressively hate all that is wrong. Okay? So because we all have a sinful heart, whether or not we are still walking in wickedness, at some point in time, we all walked in wickedness. This is something that we have to appreciate. How much time is gone?
1:18. Let me see.
Ephesians 2.
About almost 3 hours.
Wow. I don't think.
2. Yeah.
Continue.
2 verse 1.
Yeah.
And thou had he quickened, and you had he quickened, and you had he quickened, who were dead in trespasses and sins.
He hath quickened who were dead. You were dead in your wickedness that you were fashioned in. Verse 2.
Wherein in time past you walk according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience.
This verse is very, very, very important. Now you have been quickened through Messiah Yahusha. He says, in time past you walk according to the course of this world. So if you are still walking according to the course of Babylon, you're still in the trespasses and sins. This does not refer to you. Because you're walking according to the prince of the power of the air, the same spirit that now works in the children of disobedience. So if you are in disobedience and walking in disobedience, then you are still walking with a wicked heart. Verse 3.
Among whom also we all had our conversation in time past, in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desire of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others.
So we all had our conversations in time past in the lust of our flesh. So walking in wickedness, we're going to be walking after the lust of our flesh. Very important, because the only way to overcome wickedness is to walk in the spirit. If you're walking after the lust of your flesh, you will be still walking in sin, walking in wickedness, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind. So we cannot be walking, feeding our minds.
So the fulfillment of our desire of the flesh is sin.
That's it. So that's why you have to walk in the Ruach, walk in the spirit. And walking in the spirit means you do not know where you're going. You do not determine what's going to happen. You take yourself out of every single instruction that the Most High gives you, and you just follow the Ruach. All right? Then you will not be fulfilling the desires of your flesh and of your mind. Okay? And were by nature, because you did all of those things walking after the flesh, you were the children of wrath. So many of us who say we are walking in the way, we don't know that we are the children of wrath. We need to study these scriptures, look at them, dig into them. Verse 4.
Scroll up. But Allah, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us.
Continue.
Even when we were dead in sins, had quickened us together with Amashiach, by grace ye are saved, and had raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in Amashiach the Messiah, that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace in his kindness towards us through Yahushua Mashiach.
And of course, we know that we have to abide in Messiah, and abide in Messiah, we have to walk as he walked. So when he says he has showed the exceeding riches of his favor and his kindness towards us through Yahushua Mashiach, it means us walking as the Messiah walked. Simple. Not walking after our own lusts and our own desires. Verse 8.
For by grace are ye saved through faith, and are not of yourselves. It is the gift of Allah.
So we can't save ourselves. It is his gift. But a gift can be accepted or it can be refused. Yes. I can get a gift and I even accept it and I trample on it. I can get a gift and I accept it and I just put it down and don't use it. How many times you have been given gifts? We might use it a couple of times and then we just toss it away. It's the same thing with the Messiah. All right? Verse 9.
Not of works, lest any man should boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Yahushua Mashiach unto good works, which Allah had before ordained that we should walk in them.
So when we are in Messiah, we will be walking in good works. That means we'll be walking in righteousness, in obedience to the Most High. So we all walked in wickedness, but our sin nature keeps us in wickedness. Romans 7:12-25. Our sin nature keeps us in wickedness. This is why I have to deny ourselves, brother. We are naturally going to have this nature that is going to be pulling us to satisfy our flesh. And if we don't actively say, you know what, I don't care about myself, what I want, I don't have any cares, most I just lead me, and just give up myself and surrender myself, then I'm going to be in problems. Serious problems. Romans 7.
While you go there, so you see, it is just for us to understand One, what it means to deny self. Two, what happened when we deny self. Because many of us, we are trying so many things. Who are trying it? We are trying to make it, trying to achieve it, trying, and it can't happen. But when we deny that same who was trying, if we deny it or deny them and said, Yahuwah, let your will be done, the you now go one side and his Ruach will take residence and make it happen.
And lead you into everything that he wants you to do.
So we see that we couldn't do it.
No. So the wicked thought fashioned in us. Romans 7:12. Read, please.
Romans 7:12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just, and good.
All right. Continue.
Was then that which is good made death unto me? Allah forbid. But sin that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good, that sin by the commandment might become exceeding sinful.
All right. So I know, I believe a Christian that says that the law is what again? Is a curse. The law is holy, Kodesh, and the commandment holy and just and good. Now in verse 13, he's saying, was the law made death unto me? He says, no, Allah forbid. It is sin that is the problem. So he's telling that the law that shows us what sin is, it is the nature of sin that is in me that is working death in me, that is killing me, bringing me to death, bringing me to sin. 14.
For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin.
That's why we have to be reminded of our carnality, and we have to be reminded of our imperfections, and we have to be reminded whenever we are not walking in the along the right path, because we are carnal, paying attention to our carnal desires and not paying attention to spiritual things. Verse 15.
For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not. But what I hate, that do I.
So that shows that a force is in us controlling us to do that which I hate and not making us able to do what we are to do. Continue.
If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that is good. Now then it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not. For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do.
That is the wicked thought that is fashioned, the wickedness that is fashioned in us. You want to do good, but you do evil. That is wickedness that is in you. Verse 20.
Now, if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me.
This is something that our people we won't appreciate and don't appreciate enough. Yeah? So read from verse 22.
For I delight in the law of Allah after the inward man, but I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members.
That is the wickedness that is fashioned inside of us. Something inside of us pulling us to do that which is wrong. 24.
O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death?
Can you deliver yourself, bro?
Nope.
Verse 25 tells us who can.
I thank Allah through Yahushua Mashiach, our master. So then with the mind, I myself serve the law of Allah, but with the flesh, the law of sin.
That's it.
That's why flesh have to be denied.
Ah.
How much more can we say that? We are seeing over and over why we have to deny the flesh.
Ah. So that brings us to our next heading. Look at the heading.
We must deny self and follow the Messiah.
That's it. And we know Matthew 16:24 by heart. Everyone here should know that by heart. But for those who are watching, for the sake of those who are watching who may not be as familiar with it as us, read it, please.
Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his stake and follow me.
All right. And we know Matthew 14, 26 to 27. Luke. What did I say? Luke what?
14.
Oh, 14.
26 to 27.
We use these over and over. So, verse 26.
If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sister, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciples.
This is denial of self. All right? You deny your father if he's going to come in the way of Yahuwah's business. You deny your mother. You deny your wife. You deny your picnic. And you deny your brethren and your sisters. And you even deny your own life, your own self, which is come to the point that Revelation 12:11, love not your life unto the death. If you are not there, you cannot be the disciple of the Messiah. If you are not the disciple of the Messiah, you cannot enter his kingdom. Verse 27, that's what we have to know.
Let me just say a small piece in 26 there.
Yeah.
We see all that we are all who we have to deny. So for some who might say, okay, fine, I could do that. I can do that. I can do it. I've been doing that. This I'll do also. Then we come upon us. We see on his own life.
Mhm.
So for one that will be going through, and because it appears like he may lose his life, he's going to back down on what he was told to, he is instructed to scripture. You cannot deny you because you might die. So no, I can't do it anymore. So you see, we must love others even as we love ourselves. So if we cannot do this, it means that we already fail in denying sister, mother, father, brother. So it is as straight as how it sounds in the scripture. We have to be ready, willing to deny ourselves. Some might say, well, I can deny my sister because already is so miserable. I can deny why because he just so. Father, same thing, he didn't do what he's supposed to do. Brethren, they can always stay. But yourself is the same thing, is required.
Yeah.
So we are seeing here, family, it is very, 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 very important that we deny ourselves. If we can deny ourselves, we can pass father, mother, wife, children, brethren, sister in fine colors. So, I mean,
but if we cannot deny ourselves, we don't have any eternal life in us. We are wasting our time in religion.
That is it.
It's just religion that we are going through.
You know, sometimes I still wonder if they really understand what it means to deny themselves.
There's it. Here it is right here.
Or 27. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
And whosoever doth not bear his stake and come after me cannot be my disciples.
When you deny yourself, you are willing. This is anything or anything part. Yeah. Anything is anything. Anything I am asked to do, anywhere I'm taken, I will go. This has to be a part of your life. Deny self. It's not about me and what I want and what I love. It is where I am taken. And we have to understand that where we are taken is often directed by the Most High. It says, where two or three are gathered in my name, I'm right there in your midst. when we are gathered together as a group, for example, just using this group, when we are gathered together as in this group, the Most High has chosen leaders of this group. Where the leaders direct us, that is the Most High speaking to us. We have to know and understand the operation of the Ruach. He speaks through his leaders to give his instructions. He also speaks among us together to give each other instructions. So the instructions from the Most High does not necessarily have to come from the leaders. If another person is walking in righteousness, the Most High will speak to them, to us. The Most High will even speak to us through children who are here among us. That is how he operates. But at each and every point in time, we have to not put ourselves and our desires at the forefront. It always has to be, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done.
One more small piece, Brother C. Still on denying self. Very, very important topic. One can easily argue that if they don't deny self, it is not a sin. Look at this now. If we are following, or if we are saying that we want to follow the way, we will have to be trying to see how well we can, how well we are doing. So you, Brother Kazak, for example, you always like to try and find a good. You like to use a black mic every time you present. This mic to you feel very comfortable. Within you, you will not change the black mic for nothing. And to you, that is no sin, because you're using the mic to present the word of Yah. Understand? So comes one Sabbath or one day, the Most High said to you through a child or through anyone, change the black mic to a white mic or to a blue mic. He said, no, sir. I've been using this mic for the past 3 years. I ain't going to change it. You did not deny yourself.
That's it.
And that can put you in deep trouble.
That's it.
When you think you're perfect, there are some things you don't know. Just like the man who thinks he have it all. Good master, what must I do to inherit the kingdom? Because within him, he have it locked. He's good. But when he's told us something he did not know or think about, he vexed and walk away. Very same thing.
Yeah. So verse 33 now.
Or else, while the other,
no,
33. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciples.
So if you're not willing to forsake all your material possessions, you cannot be his disciple. You have not denied yourself. Simple. Now, what about believers who are religious and do not deny self? People who do not deny self are being merely religious. I'm telling you that. If you say you're following the way and you cannot, and it's all about me and I'm very sorry. Anybody watching this, but you're just being religious. Because the Messiah just gave you the conditions and said you cannot be his disciple. So what you're doing, you're following religion. Okay? And you might feel that, oh, like some Christian, I have a relationship and this and that. But remember, the Most High will give you a strong delusion if you refuse to follow his truth. Brother Mahar has been preaching denying self for maybe the past 2 years or so among us, for almost the past 2 years. If there are people among us who still have not denied themselves, beware of the strong delusion. You walking, thinking you're okay, thinking you're right, not knowing that you're being led to destruction. All right? Because believers who are religious and do not deny self, Titus 1:15-16, read please.
Unto the pure, all things are pure. But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. But even their mind and conscience is defiled.
So if you're unbelieving, if you're not following the Messiah, and remember the condition of following the Messiah is what? You have to
deny yourself.
Deny yourself. So if you have not denied self, you cannot follow the Messiah. And if you don't follow the Messiah, it means you do not believe. So unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, nothing at all is pure. But even their mind and conscience
is defiled. That's why one would say, you don't have any conscience. it is defiled.
Bro, how many times have we seen believers? And I'm like, they can't see it. Caught up in self. And so you're just saying they cannot see that their conscience is defiled. No love, caring, though just being religious. Continue.
They profess that they know Allah, but in works they deny him.
By their works, by your works, you're going to know. They deny Yahuwah by their works.
By their works you shall know them.
Being what?
Being abominable
And what?
and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate.
People, we have to deny self. We have to strive for what? Obedience. And obedience is not us, me doing things because I'm reading the word and say obedience. Obedience comes to the instructions from the Most High to his people, to the leaders that he sets over us. But in works, they deny him, being abominable.
That's it.
So you're abominable. I am abominable to the Most High, and I do not know. Right? Why? Because I'm unbelieving. I profess that I know him, but I do not believe. I do not truly follow the Messiah. I have not denied myself. So I am abominable to the Most High, and I think that I am the apple of his eyes. All right? Okay. So what time is it now?
1:40.
How much time is gone?
Well, almost 3 hours.
All right, we can't, I might have to do a part 2 or something, but the rest have a lot more to go. And guess we should just leave it here. It's about denying self. All right? So if I was to conclude, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the wicked are given the latitude to control the earth with wickedness. Because this is like a game, people. We are set on this earth to see who will overcome the wickedness that is fashioned in this earth. The Most High has allowed the wickedness. It's like a video game, as I said. There are obstacles in the way, different things, and you score points for different things that you do, and you overcome the obstacles until in the end, you have conquered the game. This is a life that has been fashioned. The wicked has been given latitude and control of the earth. The earth has been made wicked. A wicked thought, a wicked heart has been fashioned in us. But guess what? The Most High said, okay, you're in wickedness, wicked thought fashioned in you. I'm going to give you my ruach. I'm going to give you a gift so you can win this game. And he gave us his ruach. And through his ruach, if we allow ourselves to be led by the ruach, if we do not quench the ruach, then the ruach will lead us into righteousness, will lead us unto salvation. Ephesians 1:13-14 tells us that the Holy Spirit, the ruach, is the down payment on our inheritance. It is what allows us to be able to overcome the wickedness that is in us. And if we overcome the wickedness, then eternal life is for us. If we do not, it is damnation. It is two ways about it, but we cannot overcome people. We cannot say it enough unless we have denied self. Self is inherently wicked, born in wickedness. We have a sin nature in us that is going to lead us to death. It's going to lead us to eternal damnation. Even if we say we accept the Most High and repent and baptize, that sin nature is not going, because we have to suppress it, because the Most High gives us the gift, but he does not cheat by forcing us now that we have the gift. We are now forced, and now it's not easy for us to overcome. Yeah? We still have the wicked thought fashioned in us, and we ourselves have to do something. And that something is to deny ourselves, so that that gift that he has given us can take over and lead us wherever the Most High leads us, which will lead us into righteousness and into eternal life. All right? So that is what we have presented today. And we're going to ask Brother Mahar Kuhn to give his summary. He's been here with us. All right.
Shalom. The summary cannot be a new one. We've been talking for quite a while about denying ourselves. And I lived to see the time come when I understand more of what we've been talking about for a long time, that we should deny ourselves. Feeling very kind of scary that it is really a fact that we need to deny ourselves. And many of us still did not even halfway in denying ourselves. And the truth is, family, if we cannot or refuse to deny ourselves, we shall lose our part in the kingdom. I mean, what I just did is jump over a lot just to say, if we cannot deny ourselves, we shall lose our crown. There are so many examples shown to us today that we need to fully deny ourselves. If we cannot do that, it means that we are in wickedness. If we cannot do that, it means that we are loving the fleshy part of us. If we cannot do that, it means that we are earthy. Whether we can or we refuse from doing it, we are earthy. And we know that we cannot be earthy and enter in the kingdom of Yahuwah, who is righteous. All right, family? So the real deal right now is to deny ourselves. If many of us are trying to read our way through, trying to study our way through, self cannot get understanding. So if we are still carrying self along with us while we are seeking Yahuwah, we will not find him. Because denying self will help us to seek him diligently so we can find him. So we see self is a big obstacle. Self should be our enemy. We see what Adam did. We are born and we inherit that fleshy part of us coming up to now. That's why the Most High send us his son. So we don't have to say, well, it's because of Adam. So if Adam failed, why I can't fail? Adam was right there before us. Mm-hmm. And Adam did all those things. So what is in me? Why I can't do it? We have the Ruach. The Most High sent his son. His son came and he lived. He showed us how to live. And if we follow how we live and are victorious, we shall be on his throne just as how he is on his father's throne, because he was victorious. Now, do we think that the Most High would allow all of this if we cannot deny ourselves? We can do it. It is within some of us to do it, but we chose not to, because we love he or she who was born from our mother's womb. We are still in love with that personality. We are still in love with that which was born from their mommy. And we know that if we cannot get past that, slay that self, be born again, now walking spiritually, living spiritually, we just will not enter the kingdom. And we know that if you don't enter the kingdom, we know where our last place will be. Was described as burning with brimstone. So it is on us right now. Already the Most High don't want to see us perish. He don't want to see us come to naught. Because if he wanted us to come to naught, he would not allow his son to come and teach us how to live and accept to be killed so we can live. But he did all of those for something. It cannot be free, brother. See, all of those cannot be for nothing. It is for a reason. But how many of us are seeing it for what it is? We are at the end of this age, family. We don't know what tomorrow may bring. We see in the scriptures. If you cannot give up mother, loving mommy, father, sister, brethren, children, and all. If yourself, you are not fit to be in the kingdom of the Most High because he's perfect. Why do you think he's going to allow imperfection to be in his perfect kingdom? It doesn't work, and common sense can tell us that that is not level. That's not that's not what's that word? That's not balance.
Mhm.
We have to be holy to be in a holy place. So because today we can be in a house here on earth, whether we're holy or not, but our heavenly home, it is different. That's why we should use all this time to strive for perfections.
Mhm.
Use all these times to strive for holiness, to strive for righteousness, to be willing to die for the sake of Yahuwah, for his name's sake.
Yep.
And if we can't do that, it is equivalent to being wicked. It might sound harsh, but it is true. If we cannot do that, what we are doing or how we are living is equivalent to the wicked.
Mhm.
So it is on us now. We receive the information. Now it is us to apply that which we receive to finish the job.
Mhm.
Anyone ever here to hear, let them hear what the Spirit is saying to us today. That is what I have to say to us today.
All praises to the Most High. And the part that we had left off, it wouldn't give us time to deal with, is the part about those believers who believe that, you know, they're talking about Torah, everything, and not walking in the Ruach. All right? That's very, very important. Thinking that we can live a certain way, saying that we are obeying the commandment, looking to obey to the letter, and not having a transformed life. All right? Many believers today, and you see them, and they profess and speak the word and everything, but their lives are no different from those people who say and accept that they are sinners. Our lives have to be transformed, people. And the only way it can be transformed if we deny self. There's no other way around it. All right. Okay. So that was us today here from Just a Word. Let me get this thing shifted. This is Kazak Eliyahu Yasharal. Thank you for listening, and thanks to my co-host, Brother Mahar Kuhn Yasharal, as we continue to speak the word in season and out of season, as we continue to bring the world to the nations, as we say, awakening the nations with truth. Thanks to all those who were watching on YouTube. Hope this brought some value to you. From the comments, I can see that it did. So we give thanks and praises to the Most High. All right. So please like, share, comment if you wish, and let the word go out. All right. So until the next time, shalom to everyone on YouTube. All right. We will be continuing on Just a Word Radio for a few. And we are located at